Helpline list, please indicate. I need you to all indicate if you have the helpline list because we've been sending newsletter. Yes, please, I need to see hands. Well, this has to be very interactive. You don't have the helpline list. Do you check? Yes, so if it's on the Telegram, I need you to indicate. This is, like I said, an interactive. So indicate by raising your hand. Let me be specific. So if you know of the helpline list, please indicate by raising your hand. So you don't have it? Why do we have just few people? Okay, have you been reading the newsletter? If you've been reading the newsletter, please raise your hand. Okay, so do you read? Are you sure you've been reading the newsletter because it's there? Okay, so why are you not raising your hand if you've seen it? So you've not been reading the newsletter, you go fast. So how do we start solving this problem if you're not even reading? I need someone to suggest how we will solve this problem if the students are not checking the newsletter that we're sending, because it takes time to collate this newsletter. In fact, I think we've also been uploading it on the student portal. So if you don't check it on the Telegram, you can also get it and download it via the student portal. One house, please. Yes, please. She needs a mic. She needs a mic.
The new students can't see the old. The new students, they can't see the old. That's what you can find.
No, 1 second, please. We want to hear you speak.
Okay. Hello, everybody. The new student, I feel they can't see the message because he cannot see. He cannot see. It's just the old student that can see. So I think something to do about that.
Is that how Telegram works, please? I need the ICT department to answer this. Okay. 1 second, 1 second.
Most times it's from the setting. So they should actually check the setting.
No, it's not the setting.
Yes.
Okay. One house. So I need us to be very coordinated so that we can understand each other. Remember, today is Bobby Mind, yeah? So that when you're providing recommendations, we'll hear you. But if you're whispering or you're talking together, we will not hear you. Right? So please, let's be very coordinated. I mean, you literally thrown me off balance from what you just did. So we're going to take that again so that, we're all in sync. Now, you said some students, the new students, don't see the previous message. The reason why we don't use WhatsApp is because that's one of the limitations that WhatsApp has. But Telegram don't have that. In fact, you can see from 1 to 100 messages, previous messages from Telegram. So I'd like the ICT to discuss this. I need the mic for the ICT.
So concerning this letter, if I use students, and you've not been seeing previous message, it's from your setting. Or you can click view more messages from the option on your Telegram. Because regardless of whenever you're resuming school and you're added to the general student group is a super group that you can view 100 messages before, previous 100 messages. So they are not seeing that, so just check the settings.
I can see it on another group, however not in Gmail.
Please give him the mic. Give him the mic. So when you want to talk, I want you to indicate, not just comment. Am I communicating, please? Okay.
I can see it on GMAT illustration group, but not GMAT students.
Okay.
You can come and check it.
So if you can see it from the GMAT illustration group,
Yeah,
it means you can also see it, from the GMAT student group. So it has to do with your setting. Now, this is where we have ICT department. So when you're having challenges, please write to them via mail. I really like the mail, right? How many of you is agreeing that the mail has really helped? in terms of response from the administrative team. I asked a question, did you send a mail and they did not reply? Okay, so why are you shaking your head? Your answer is confusing. So I'll need you to ask a question eventually. Now, when you have issues, I need you to meet with the ICT department. But before you meet them, so that you don't cut them off guard, considering the workload that we have, I'd like you to send an email. List the challenges you're facing, and then ask for a time where you can come and get, attention so that they solve that problem for you so that we are prepared. Yeah? Am I communicating, please? Yeah? So if you're having those challenges, list it, and then they will give you a time and also have someone, attend to you. Is that okay? Thank you very much. So another thing is the newsletter are on the site via the student portal. Have we been uploading it, please? Can the ICT confirm that? Have the students seen that? So if you don't get it on the Telegram, you can also get it on the site. This is the reason why we have the ICT department. All the structures and departments that we're creating are actually for you to make the process here seamless. So I would like you to take advantage of it, right? I want you to take advantage of it, but go through the right process so that you will get value, for all the resources that we are putting in place. Are we together, please? So did I create, do you have a better information as regards this particular program? Or do you have, do you want more comment on this particular issue? Because as it seems, we already have the solution, but we're not just, going through the right channel. Are we together, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, she has a comment. I need her to talk. What's your name, please? So before you talk, please mention your name and be audible as possible, please.
Good morning, Ma. My name is Blessed. My comment regarding the email was what I realized was that I always receive information from the Telegram app, so I've never had to use the email. But since I signed up to the school, I've never received any email, so I don't know how the email works. So that's why I said I don't receive emails, so I don't know how the email works. But all that information I've gotten through Telegram.
Okay, so now we're just creating different platforms, like I said, to make sure that the students get the right attention at the right time. So initially, we were writing on the course form before you joined the school, because you're new. We were writing on the course form a long time to reply because we had a lot of students that were writing. So imagine you submit your course form that you need in class to also sign your, worksheet, and we're giving you minimum 7 days and then 2 weeks. We now changed it to the students, but the delay was still there. So what we're doing is testing, introducing a structure and then testing it to see how responsive, and the kind of feedback we get from the students, right? So with the mail, we can't just send you mails if there is no need to send mails. The Telegram is the official platform where we send memos, right? Because that's the fastest way to engage the students. And in the same Telegram, I'm sure you must have seen where we, introduce this new structure that going forward will no longer take in minutes or requests from the course form, but now via mail. So if there's no need to send you mail, we don't send you mail. Official information channel is the Telegram. But in terms of probably a reminder for tuition fee, maybe queries, or you have some request, then you reach out to the school via mail. Now when you reach out, we have a couple. There are some students that are going for their NYSC. There are some students that are writing exam, and we've been replying them. So we're not changing our means of communication as regards memos and information via mail, no. But we're saying when you have some information or some questions, you can, ask via mail and the team is available to respond. But the official information app that we're using in terms of communicating the general information to the students is Telegram, and we're also extending it to the student portal. So if you don't get it via Telegram, you can download it from the student portal. But when the student is trying to reach the management, any department, that's why we also broke it down. The accounts department, the head of school, the project manager, even to the MD, you just use the mail and then it's, faster. It's also saving the students money because then you have to, when we're using the cost form, you have to print, right, for the management to address it. But with the mail, we can just communicate back and forth. And then you also have like the mail trail to also make reference to. Yeah? So did I answer the question, please? Are we together? Are we together, please?
Yes.
Okay. So I need another question.
Okay. Andrew Smith, please indicate.
Oh, okay. We have question online.
Online, okay.
I want to add 3 months extra for the 6 months that I have paid. So there are a few things to consider before we make this request. First, you have to send an official mail. Then we'll bring out your file. If you pay within 3 months, don't forget that the instrumental payment maximum is 3 months. So if you pay within 3 months and your duration has not expired, then yes, you can just pay the difference as at when you registered. But if your duration has expired and you want to now extend, it's also on the website. The first month is 100,000 and the subsequent month is 50,000. So it now depends on the number of months that you want. Now that would also change with time. Because we can all agree that the cost of running whatever expenses that anybody's running now has tripled. So the fees cannot remain the same. In fact, we're even working on our new tuition fee. So you all are lucky because we're going to start breaking the courses that we offer now. So imagine now you have the privilege to learn everything for just a certain fee. Now, for you to learn bridal, I think someone registered this morning. Only bridal alone now is 300,000. Yeah, so we're going to break it down. So you are all lucky to have gotten what you have gotten, So, yeah, thank you very much. So back to the question. So you have to write an official mail because I can't answer that question up here because I don't know who's communicating. So we have to bring your file out and then check to be sure that your duration has not expired so that we will not be charging you more than you should be paying. Like I said, if the request is coming within the same 3 months where you're paying instrumental payment, then you just pay the difference. I think it's 50,000. But if your duration has expired and it's even more than the 3 months which you ought to have made the decision, then it will be 100,000 and then subsequent month 50,000. I hope I answered that question, please. More questions. We have questions at the back. I need the mic.
There's a follow-up of the answer you just gave online.
Oh yes, please.
So the question is, if you want to extend, we were told it's 50K. But now, extending with 3 extra months is 200K. At the end of the day, you are paying 700K for 6 months. For the same cost, your fellow mates are paying 450K.
Yes, so I remember majority of the inquiries, I take them myself. And when students come and say, I want to learn a particular topic, I tell them, take advantage of this now and learn everything. Now, when the students come and say, I want to do 3 months, I tell them, don't take 3 months duration. Please take minimum 6 months, and even take more if you can. It's better for you to say, I want to do 12 months, work with your time, come probably only 3 or 6 months, it depends on you, and you know that you're not missing out, because the 50,000 naira the 50,000 naira benefit that you're getting is actually extra 3 months. So imagine 3 months is 350, and we're telling you take 6 months for just extra 50,000 naira, and you refuse because you feel you don't need it. Now, we also go as far as saying you have within 3 months to make up your mind, and then you don't make up your mind within that 3 months, and then you're now expecting the management to still give you that same 50,000 naira, having given you the previous options that you refused to take. This is an organization that runs expenses on a daily basis. Every decision you take leads you to the next phase of your life. If you decide that you want to do 1 month, we can only advise that you don't do 1 month, but it's still your decision. And if you decide to go for the 1 month, and then after the grace period has expired, because you are communicated to, then you don't, you take responsibility for the mistake of your decision, and not throw or try to force the management to show some sign of empathy as regards your indecision when you had the opportunity to make decisions that would benefit you. I don't know if I'm communicating, please. So you are given the option to not go for 3 months, because there is no way 3 months will be enough. In fact, I go as far as saying use primary school as an example. If you, yes please. What happened to that? Yes. So if you stop learning, if you pay for a course to stop learning at primary 3, the knowledge that you would get from primary 4 to 6, you would miss out rather from the knowledge that you get from primary 4 to 6. So if the management is saying, if this is what you really want to use as a career, if this is the career path you have chosen, invest your time in it and just go for 12 months. You can decide you're no longer interested after 6 months or after 9 months. That way you are still playing safe, because the difference, like I said, is just 50,000. But if you decide that you are sure that 3 months or 6 months is enough for you, then you have to take the responsibility to pay extra. But as an organization, we don't expect us to just, and even the economy is not static. We're talking about diesel now. Diesel is what, 700 and something. You don't expect us to say pay the same fee, the same 50,000 naira difference. It's not done. So don't forget, like I said, this discussion is not just about the MD and the student, but the students putting themselves in the position of the MD, because you are all managers, you are all going to have your companies, you all have to start making decisive decisions now. You all have to start taking responsibilities now. So what are you asking the management to do? Is it achievable? Is it right? Is it a decision that you would, make when you are running your business? Is it the decision or the questions that you will ask, or the structure that you will implement if you're running your business? So don't just ask for asking sake, or don't ask from a selfish, point, knowing fully well that you are given these options and you decided not to take it. Please, I hope I'm communicating with that person.
Yes, and there's a follow-up, but...
Yeah, go on. We have to answer the question until
Okay.
they understand.
Okay, the follow-up by the same person, everyone made up their minds, but the reason why most people are extending is because of the slow pace. Students have noticed they can't get to learn so much within that time frame. So it's not the student's fault or indecision. Then somebody else said, so...
No, that's in person.
Yeah, that's the person that asked about the 50,000, 200,000.
Yeah, so that question,
Okay, I should come
say it
again.
again before you go to the next one.
Okay. Everyone made up their minds, but the reason why most people are extending is because of the slow pace. Students have noticed that they can't get to learn so much within that time frame.
So you remember, like I said, we know that you cannot learn that much. What's communicated to you, I mean, if you say that the team did not communicate it to you, it's your word against theirs. But I take inquiries myself, communicate it to all the students. What's your name, please? No, the guy. Abash. Akash. Now, this is our recent, newest student. When you came, you said you're interested in what? Majorly just one course, right? What did I advise? I need him to get the mic.
Hi, my name is Akash. When I came here just to check how the duty, and I was really surprised to see such a good environment, and then when I went to see Miss Princess Kalechi, and then I was not sure if I should go for 3 months, 6 months, because I have no idea regarding the fashion. So when I spoke to you, you suggested me to go for a year course, because as being a me who has no idea about fashion, will learn nothing in 3 to 6 months course. So that's how I opted for a year course.
And I thank you very much. And I do this with everybody that comes in contact with me. So it's not like it's you that have refused to make the decision. And trust me, I also make reference to the fact that it's just 50,000 naira difference. And the reason why we're doing this is to discourage people from going for 3 months and 6 months in the first place. So when you see the difference, there's no need for me to do 3 months if it's just 50,000. So it's your decision, please. Learn to take responsibility for your mistake, as that is one of the criteria you will have as a leader. Now, when you make mistake, it's not a bad thing. You just learn from it and not make the mistake again. Do you understand? So it's not that the student decided from time. No, they did not. They were certain that, I don't know, whatever abilities you have, but you were certain that, okay, I can learn more than enough because of my capacity to assimilate things from previously, probably, from whatever place you're coming from. But this is fashion. We're talking practical. The students are actually even overwhelmed with the workload that we have. Like last month, we had to tune it down. We're supposed to showcase Ashwebi and the toothpick, but we had to move the toothpick to this month because of the workload that we had, from the previous month. And we actually have a lot to go, to also cover. I mean, there's draping, we've not done that. There's bridal, we've not done that. There's a lot, and then you say you want to learn that in 3 months. I had somebody make inquiries and said, can I learn bridal and ready to wear and all of that in 1 month? And I'm wondering, I don't understand. I don't understand. Even 3 months is not enough. See, even this 1 year is not enough.
Yes.
This 1 year is not enough. Thank God for technology, and the textbooks and, the kind of structure that we have now, and of course exposure and all of that. And the fact that majority of the young fashionpreneurs these days, they don't necessarily want to be the ones sewing. So they are looking forward to starting their business and having a team. So the basic idea is just enough, and then they learn from experience over time. But that you learn everything in 1 year is not even possible. Look at the Aba people, look at the Ghanaian tailors. 4 years, 3 years, that's the right time to learn. You have to invest. It's like going to university and say you want to finish your whole program for 1 year. There's a reason for 4 years course. There's a reason for 7 years, 5 years. It's the same as fashion, right? So we have to tell ourselves the truth. We have to tell ourselves the truth, right? So please, I hope I have answered that question so that we move to the next, because this was communicated to you and it's also on the website. Yes.
So the answer you just gave is an answer to the next question. So I'll just read it.
Yes.
Can the teaching pattern be changed so that within 6 months a lot of the topics will be covered? Or within 9 months a lot will be covered? What is the school doing to ensure the curriculum will be covered?
Okay, so those
for
are a
category?
lot of questions. I want to take them one at a time.
Can the teaching pattern be changed?
Okay, can the teaching pattern be changed? To what?
So that within 6 months, a lot of the topics will be covered.
I need that person to answer to what? Because the structure that we have put in place is a structure that is been tried, tested, and by the grace of God, we can boast of a lot of alumni today in the industry that are doing very well. And we are still restructuring. We are still upgrading our curriculum, like we're not static. The year before, we didn't have Ashwebi. This is the year we're introducing Ashwebi. So the year before, we also introduced the lot. In fact, there is no year that we don't upgrade even our curriculum. This year, we've taken more master classes than the previous year, and we're looking at also incorporating it so that it becomes a culture. So like I said, if what you have is already making you overwhelmed, how do you want me to add more? Because it's not just about coming to school and doing practical. Are you learning to understand? The students need to do internship. The only time you start retaining what you have learned is when you start teaching it. But students just want to learn and learn and learn, and at the end of the day, you don't go back repeating the same thing. You don't, go back to the project to recreate it, to see if you can now do it. But you just want to take up more projects and more projects. That is not how it's done. You cannot rush these things. You need to invest your time, you need to invest your energy, you need to invest your resources. You need to be passionate about this. It's not just for the certification. Otherwise, you will start your business and you will struggle. It's not a course, it's just a fact. If it's 3 months you want to use in learning, learn everything in detail. And be sure that you have gotten the knowledge to a point where you don't need to be dependent. It's not just about taking up more projects like I've said, and just trying to say, okay, I've learned right now, I've learned at a I've learned at No, it's not about that. So you need to take your time and learn. So no, for me now, the structure that we have is what we have, what we're open to suggestions. So if you think there are better ways we can teach you as an individual, please, make the comment and then I'll come back to the question. Nonetheless, during the induction ceremony, I made reference to the previous students, I think 2019 or 2020. There are some students that, try to do more projects as well, learn more. So they're in class learning, say maybe learn words today, and then when they go back home, they try to do some other things. The management have made videos available for you. Very soon we will cut that video off, because that's another resource, that's another investment that we should be charging for separately. It shouldn't be like in the total package. And we currently have an online student. So you guys are really enjoying, because we are also identifying what we have, and it's about time we start putting prices on them, because a lot is going into it, and then I mean it's business, and that's why we are all here in the first place. So try and take advantage of all of this now, because with time, trust me, the next set that is coming, they are going to, get what they paid for. You understand? So that you all will be taking this seriously. It's because you're being given everything for free, that's why you're not taking it seriously. So yes, you can learn at a faster pace. I mean, the videos that you have are unlimited. And then there's no time you reach out to the facilitators to ask questions that they don't answer you. So do you need to be spoon-fed? Do you want to sit down in the class for them to put it in your head for you to know that you already have all the resources you have to learn? So teach us how to teach you, and we are open for those recommendations. I hope I answered that question too.
Yes,
Am I communicating, please?
The last statement in that thread. What is the school doing to ensure the curriculum will be covered for each category of duration?
Letter that we are sending, and then like I said, the school is also trying to restructure and categorize these courses, unlike doing the general program like I mentioned earlier. So if you want to do just bridals, you pay a certain fee for it. So imagine now you're doing 6 months and you're trying to see how you can learn a lot of things within that 6 months. So in 6 months you do every month you learn a lot. But now we're just going to focus on only the bridal, and then you'll be paying as much as 300,000 for it, and that is the only knowledge you'll be, privileged to have. So before we leave today, while we are restructuring this, if your duration is about to expire, you will just write to the school and say, these different structures or curriculum that you have, that we have, so what are the days, what are the months, that they'll be teaching this, so that, I can join that class, right? So, like I said, when we break it down, we'll put it on the site, we'll also communicate it to the students, we'll also get your feedback today. So the school is actually, have you learned only what you paid for, which is even a better, which will benefit the school more. So we'll get the feedback from you on what you actually want to learn, and then, we'll move you to those departments before you leave. Have I answered that question, please? Are we together?
Yes.
I hope we're liking the structure that we're putting in place. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Andrew Smith. Where are you? Okay.
So
There's a list here. Those that came earlier
okay, you want
to register
Okay, I think she has a recommendation
on the
particular
former question.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a question based on the same topic. That's why I just wanted to ask. Okay, so like you mentioned that 12 months was not enough, and I thought, my name is Blessing. So you mentioned that 12 months was not enough, and I totally agree with you, because I observed that myself when I started learning and seeing the different programs and other things adding to the learning, not just practical. I agree with 12 months is actually not enough to fully grasp what you want. And yes, I did notice that other people would spend like 3-4 years on just learning, and it makes so much sense to me. So my question is, have you paid for the 12-month course and realizing this might not just be enough to, learn as much as I want to even cover like basics? Because I don't want to just, have other people do the job for me. How can I even extend that 12 months and not just be only accumulating knowledge, so that it's being put into proper use?
Okay, so we made it easy for you. Now, this thing is all okay. Hello. Okay, I'm taking this down. Okay, so now we made it easy for you, right? But looking towards the structures that the students are craving, I think if you want to do 12 months, you just have to pay for the extra durations that you want. Now imagine, let's do the maths together. So if you want to extend after 12 months, the first month you pay 100,000. Subsequent month you pay 50,000. So imagine how much you'll be paying in 12 months. Now, look at what the management did for the students, right? After 12 months, you graduate, you apply for internship for 2 months for free. And then the management start paying you a stipend, 40,000 naira to be learning during your internship. After your internship, you can then become a full-time staff. Note that the facilitators, they don't come every day. So you still have your business, and then you're just coming to teach. As you're teaching, you're learning. You're also, because you're in the midst of the management, you're also learning business ethics and culture and all of that. And you are being paid for it. Now, if you show that, you are a dedicated staff, of course you get an increment. So which means immediately after learning here, there's a job waiting for you. You start getting paid and you start earning even more than. But now, with what you all are craving, you pay for the extension and then we remove the internship. Are we together? No. So let's give the management a round of applause. So when you finish, yes, you apply, right? But if you don't learn, because you have to do like a test, and then the head of school will have to recommend and say so and so person have learned and the person can teach. So it's not just everybody that, you don't go gallivanting because you have an internship and then when you come back, you want to apply for internship when you don't even understand the basics. So when you understand and you've acquired some skill, then like I said, you apply, okay, and of course we'll grant it because we even need more hands, yeah? And then we start paying you to learn. So, you end up spending even 2 or 3 years. We have Miss Joy now, she's the project manager. She was an alumni, she was rather a student of the school and then, became an alumni and now, part of the team and even now become the project manager, And then she's grown from 2018 set, yeah? 2018 set, and imagine she's been with us. Mrs. Amako, the same thing. These are facilitators that have not only gotten their school fees back, but have acquired, more knowledge, and they are very stable in terms of, their life. So it's just like I said initially, having a vision. Where do you want to see yourself? What do you really want to do about this? And then what are the structures that the management have put in place, to benefit, for the students to benefit from? You need to learn how to read, study how we do things, and then try as much as possible to take advantage of them. Are we together, please? Did I answer your questions?
Andrew Smith.
The question and 2 requests. So my question goes about because I registered for 9 months and I've been here for 2 months and some weeks already. So I'd like to know if I can still extend my course for 1 year. That's a thing.
It's better you do that now.
Okay. Thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah, because you still have within that, like I said, after 3 months, then it has to be 100,000 and then subsequent, 50,000. But if it's still within the 3 months instrumental payment, then take advantage of it now. Because it's the fee. We're changing the fee, I think, from 4th. So whatever we change it to, that's what it becomes. So try as much as possible to do it now that you still can. Yes.
The first request, during the last master class, we discussed about digital illustration, and I wrote my name down on the list, and some other students did. I don't know.
Okay, so we were not organized. I'm a very detailed person. So if I see that there is no structure in whatever you're doing, we will not address it because that's wasting our time. I specifically instructed that you all send a mail or you write in your course forms, and it must be nothing less than 50 students showing interest in this particular program, because then we have to reach out, like I said, to the school to see how we can get the facilitators to do it, right? We also have to, consider paying for this, paying salaries for the set of facilitators that will come do it. We'll also have to look at our structure and our curriculum to see how we can, add that to our curriculum such that what we have is not affecting what the student, already has. Like I said, the feedback that we're getting is that the students are overwhelmed with work, and majority of the students, not just some. So there are a lot of things to be put in place. It's not just asking, but are you sure you really want it? Now, if you want it, how much do you want it? And then when we see that in unionism, then we can now, act on it. We can't just act where, there was a group, the group was meant for something, and everybody went to the group, and were just commenting. They had to take down the group because that was not the instruction. So if you all would get a governor or a deputy or something, get a leader, and then collate your names properly, send it as a mail, and then let's see why you really need this, then we can then take it from there. The facilitator we have can also take digital illustration, even though we're still hiring more staff. Miss Esther can take digital illustration. But we need to, like I said, go beyond just you asking, but also having it as a curriculum. We need to have table of contents, we need to have the right tools, for that. Are we using laptop? Are we using the software? What we're using before was a software, right? And then I'm still ready to buy the kits. A lot of things to be considered, before we add it to the curriculum. So let's see that you are all interested, then we will now, act on it. I hope I answered your question. Yes. Second one, please.
The second request is about the sewing machine. It's about the sewing machines. There was a day I came to school and I couldn't sew. Of course, I'm grateful about the table top given to me by the school. But there are sometimes I like to come to school to work and get instruction from my instructor one-on-one. But when I call, most of the machine will be occupied, and the few ones available are either breaking my needle or they're not working right. So
Okay, so are you aware that we asked the student not to come on Monday, on Tuesday? So we had the tech engineer, come service the whole machine.
Oh, it has service.
Are you in the group? So when the students don't read, we're going to add it to the policy. When the students don't read the memos and the policies and they ask questions off peak, we find them 1,000 So the machines have been serviced. But also another thing from the feedback, thank you, please have a seat. The feedback that we got were most of the times the machines are actually working, but because they are new students that are using them, that don't know how to use them, they tend to probably unset it or, just do some things, to the machine. So when you're having issues, what you do is you get a mark tape, right? Just write the problem that you think is wrong with the machine, put it on it, call the attention of your governor, I'm sure you have a class governor, or the attention of your facilitator, or the attention of the head of school, project manager, and you will have a quite number of teams, or even the operations manager, so that they can take it up and, fix it for you. That reminds me, a student was suggesting that we have a manual machine in the building. Should we have a manual machine? Okay. One house. We're here to hear ourselves. Okay, there's no need to whisper. So, if you want the manual machine, just indicate by raising your hand. Okay, so if you don't want the manual machine, please indicate by raising your hand. There you have it. So buy the manual machine in your house and learn with it. I cannot drive automatic car and be going to look for manual car. Are you going backward or forward? Backward. Please. You can't be calling yourself to struggle. You need your head to create. The time that you want to be doing, use it to illustrate. So please, no man, I bind every spirit of manual machine. Please, next question.
All right, Patience John, are you here? Patience John, yeah.
You're already on some vacation, so I understand everything now.
Okay. Let's give a round of applause. That's amazing.
Don't indicate.
That means we're communicating. I like that.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, students. Yeah, my question goes like this. We learn they are teaching us the pattern very well. But some of our students don't know how to sew. And when you ask us to go and use our fabric, cut our pattern making, and use our fabric to sew, most of them struggle. Maybe some of us that have the idea teaches them. I don't know whether if they can bring food that if they are sewing, maybe some instructors will assist them. Because like me now, I'm so happy for this class that we have us. We are doing trousers. I mean, I don't know how to fix the pocket. So, that of that pocket, I did my own at home. I was struggling with the pocket. I just had to call somebody and they sent me a video. So I did my own. And some of us don't know, they don't have an idea.
Who did you call?
Me? I called somebody, yes, my
From
friend.
the school?
No.
Do we
Outside.
have sewing technique on the site, please?
Yes, we have to videos. Check the website. You see all the pocket videos. We have the jetted pocket, the slanted pocket, straight pocket, and then curved pocket videos on the website.
Okay, I don't know, but why?
Just raise your hand
I-
when you want to talk.
I don't know, but some of them are, this
Raise
side,
your hand. He's taking notes.
this side talks and grumbling. Most of them are saying it. They only cut papers, they don't teach them how to sew, how to direct teach them how to direct the sewing and that. So I just have to ask the question.
Okay, I think from your questions, I've attended to you before while drafting your pattern in this same coaching room. It's advisable the students actually work with their instructors. If you are struggling with anything, you have the instructors to yourself. Ask questions and they will guide you through. You don't need to meet your fellow students to tell you what to do. The reason why you are here is for the instructors to guide you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes me to the next question. Is there any instructor that you reach out to and they don't attend to you?
No. All of them, they are good.
Okay, so it's better you say
No, they are good.
No, I'm not saying they are not
No.
good. Are they attending to you? If they are not good, they will not be here. Are they attending to you?
Yes, they are. Anyone you call, they will. They are attending to
Okay,
you.
so have you reached out to any of the facilitators to say, teach me the sewing technique? And they said no.
No.
So will you do that going forward?
Yes.
Okay. Now there are other things that I would like us to do. If there are some videos that are not on the site, I want you to just indicate it in the Telegram platform. Please, I cannot find so and so video on the site, and they would guide you. It's wrong that you're in a school and you're asking your friend from Kafanchan to give you that.
Sorry, but it was just
No, so you're not doing it for just yourself. You're doing it for the entire student. So when you make a request and we don't have it, the HOS will look into it and we will provide it. That is why we are here. Yeah? I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Please, let's learn to ask the right questions in the group. Yeah? It's just recommendation. Please, I cannot find it. And there are some videos that are there, but you don't know that those are the videos. So if the ICT is also using the wrong titles, we can also, correct it. So when you ask, it helps us, to communicate effectively back to you. Are we together, please? Are we together? Okay. Questions, please.
Victoria has something to say about that. It's not about that. Hello? Do you have something to say about that?
Do you have another question?
Okay. Is it about that? No. Okay, we have a list we're following. We'll get back to you, okay? So next is Ode Folakemi. Where are you?
How many hours have we spent so far? 1 hour, 30 minutes. This time is slow. our champion. Let's give her a round of applause from the last time. Let's recognize her, please. That was such an inspirational project.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've been looking for your project around, yeah?
Yes.
It's around
Thank you, Ma. My name is Folakemi Obe, and I joined in January. Anyway, when I was going online to check for a fashion school, even though I've visited some on the mainland, I was about to register for one, but the customer service put me off. And one night I just decided to go online, and Gmite popped up, and I went through the page. I liked what I saw, and immediately I sent WhatsApp message, and I got a prompt response immediately. That was on the 6th of January. And I didn't have the opportunity to come to the school to meet you or anybody to have it, so I just went with my instincts. And I'm grateful to God that I'm getting more than I paid for. I'm happy to be here. I like everybody, I like all the instructors. They are very open. You can approach every one of them. They are loving people. They relate with you on your level. But I have challenges.
Okay.
I have suggestions.
Okay.
And I would like to work more under very conducive environment. This is conducive, but it can get better.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a bit challenging or saddening that most of the students are not here. And the ones that are here are the early birds, because are the early birds that comes to school early. And my first reaction kind of is, for those of us in the morning class, we get shortchanged with our time. It's supposed to be 3 hours. Most of the time we get 2 hours, most of the time it is 1 hour, 30 minutes. Because we have to be kept waiting for the students that are either in the hostel that are not yet here or not coming. I leave my house 5 a.m. in the morning, and I get here sometimes 8:30, driving for 3-4 hours, and I get here before 9. There's no time I don't get here before 9. Along the line, I got discouraged to be coming early because you have to wait sometimes 2 hours before the class will start. And most of the time, I meet the instructors here. Even when the office is not open, we are all sitting outside. Most of the instructors are here. Miss Joy, Mr. Ayo, because we usually, Mr. Biodu chat together. We're like, you came late today. You came, they are always here before the office is open. And they go upstairs, they give them 1 hour. They will come and say, the class is not full. Can we wait for, I can't wait. I have other things. I decided to choose the morning session because I'm a single parent. I am a mother to a young boy, and I don't have anybody living with me. I have to, once I drop him in school, most of the time. 5:30 a.m. in the morning is the earliest person to get to school. The school bus, because I can't leave him at home for the school bus to come and pick him. The school bus picks him up in the morning before he registers for the school. The school bus drops him in the afternoon. I chose the morning session because I want to be home by the time he gets, because if the school bus gets home and nobody is at home to receive him, the school bus will not leave until someone is there to receive. And other students are being kept waiting because they have to keep waiting on me. I get to school early. Why do I have to wait for 2 hours? And by the time it's 12 o'clock, the afternoon session, they're already driving us out. And most of the time, I get very little for coming early. It shouldn't be so. And I think now that I'm in the beginner's class, it's going to get better. It's challenging for me because now we have to do more projects. And like I said last week Friday, I wish I could only take illustration because that is the only reason why I'm here. I'm not interested in sewing, even though I can pick up. I know if I want to do it, I will learn it and I will learn it very well. But I don't have passion for it. But drawing, sketching, being able to transform fabrics, I am interested in. Even though years passed, when I decided to go into this, I have, you know, had to attend to people, even though I don't have the knowledge well. And it comes out well. I know this is what I want to do. But the fact that, okay, now I have to pattern draft, sew, and at the same time, learn illustration. When we have assignments, illustrations will give you assignments, and I'm getting up a bit late. I have to care for my family, and most of the time, I stay up all night just to be able to finish up my assignments. The two, sometimes illustrations, pattern drafting suffers because I know that I'm not interested, so I focus more. I most of the time, I can't say I'm 100% delivered on my assignments on pattern drafting. Most of my patterns are left half done because I don't have the time to finish up that pattern drafting. And I know that I'm here and it's compulsory. I know I have to do it and do it well. The timing for me is not working. Because by the time I get home, if I leave early, maybe I leave around 12:30, I get home 2:30, that is when my son gets home. I have to start, you know, catering to him, and by the time I'm done, around 6, because we have to, he brings home a lot of homeworks as well. And by 6:30, last week I had to call the HOS and tell them, please, can they cut down this assignment? It's too much. But I've not been complaining because I've always had the time. I've always been a work at home mom. I've always had time to attend to him. And they told me, no, they can't. And I have to live with it. So that is it with that for the timing. And suggestions is, when we went to
listen, please, let's listen.
When we went to the university, we chose the course we wanted to study. Is it possible for us to choose what we want to learn and probably have an elective, a compulsory? You can choose your maybe 1 or 2 elective as you go by. And like you said, bridal is 300K. I want to come for bridal. Let me face my bridal. I want to, but now that we have so much to go, I was asking someone that this one that the upper floor has the men's whatever. I'm interested in the male. I don't know if I have to still go through that route before I leave here. I'm interested in the learning the male garment as well. I don't know if it is part of what I paid for. You understand? And if I have to come here 5 years to get what I want and be well grounded in it, I don't mind. But I want to be able to face one thing at a time and know that I am going through with it. And I have my focus on that. And then when I am good, I can move on to the next thing, if God permits, you know. And that's basically my challenge. If the days we have, Fridays that we have showcase and everything, it's the same thing. We come here, they said 9 or 10, and like 12, we've not even started. And most of the time, I have to rush out. I'm sure Miss Joy, Mr. Ayoka can attest to it, that I'll always want to, because I have something that I have to go and meet at home. Almost throughout the whole of February, I had health challenges. I didn't attend any of the illustration class because I have issues with my eyes and I have to go to the hospital, even though my instructor was aware. And by the time, you know, I don't know, the day I had my appointment, I drove all the way from the mainland to school to come and take permission because I just wanted to be sure that I am doing the right thing. To talk to my instructor and not just overlook and say, okay, I can just call him and, you know, miss his class and everything. And I still went back. Please, ma, I don't know how we can work on this timing that, and at the end of the day, we can get value for money. Thank you, ma.
No, don't take the mic. Please hold the mic. There are a lot of things that she really wants to say, but because she's been talking, I'm sure she's pushed out of stuff. So she said challenges. Sorry. There are a lot of things that she wanted to say, but I'm sure, you know, because she's been talking, she must have missed out on some. So you mentioned 2 challenges, I'm sure.
Yes.
And then she wanted to also make recommendation because she said conducive environment and it can be better. I want that. And then she also said something. Who's taking note? So I want the recommendation. Right? Yeah, so timing challenging.
Conducive environment.
Yeah, so conducive environment. Tell me about that, please.
Okay, the conducive environment has to do with, okay, while we are done with our classes upstairs, we are asked, especially the pattern drafting, come downstairs to the cutting room and come and draft. By the time we come down, the whole place is occupied. I can only say maybe I've had to draft here maybe like 2 or 3 times in my 3 months of staying here. Most of the time I just gather up my things because you see some people on the floor trying to, I can't. That is one of the conducive environments. This place is big, but I think we have few tables. And it's because the tables are so big, they are occupying so much. I think if you can have the tables to the wall, not so big, and we can all line up like that and take, because there are some that you will come to and someone's bag is on the table, occupying the table as well. There is no space. There is no space. And my beginners class, that class is always very stuffy and smelling because of the canal at the back. It's stuffy. If you open the windows, it's smelling, and if you lock it, the AC is not working. And most of the time, I always want to run away from staying there. I don't know. But,
Yes, go ahead. So the AC not working.
Yes.
You need more tables.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I need more. I need more, please. I actually need more challenges today so that we can fix this problem.
Anyway, that's basically what I have observed.
Okay.
Maybe with that I can stay in school and learn more rather than wanting to hurry home and, you know.
Okay, so I would like us to build on what she said so far. More challenges, right? So that we can address it at the same time.
Right.
But before you sit down, please let's tell her or wish her Happy Mother's Day again. Because it's so easy.
Thank you.
So we see you, we feel you, so we would ensure to solve all these problems. So please, I need another person to take a mic and let's build on more challenges.
Hello everybody, good morning to you, good morning to you and my instructors and the teacher and my fellow students. Okay, my name is Victoria and my name is Victoria and I want to say something about the illustration class. Some of the things I had to talk about have already been asked. The illustration class, I'm not interested in joining full body. For real. Let me be sincere with you. I'm a businesswoman. I don't have time to come and sit down and join the body for you. I can buy a cloth, my money can do that, and I can design the clothes I want. Since I came here, I've only been drawing eye, nose, but I'm not interested. And I'm sure there are people like that here too, that are not interested in joining how to do different things on the croquis. Rather than coming and join the head, it's actually nice, so I appreciate it. For real, I appreciate it. But my interest, I don't have that patience to start join the head and it's looking like the person has a disease. Yes, the croquis is already there to give me the structure. All I need is just to place my design on it to be able to see what I can do. So that's one of it. The other one is we applied for, I actually wrote on my first one for beading class because I'm really interested because I'm good with my hands. So I want to know how far the beading is coming along, how far we're going about it. Because it's something that we have to pay separately. We can also be told about it, and then those are interested like myself, we can do it. Then, based on the facilitators, I want to appreciate Ms. Debola, Mr. Femi. Ms. Debola has been really, really helpful for her calmness. I must appreciate her, sorry. She's very calm, and I wish some other instructors can learn that fact from her, because the truth is, a lot of us, yes.
One house. If you want to talk, just raise your hand.
Miss Debola has something that a lot of instructors need to learn from. She can teach. For God's sake, I'm an educator. When I see a good teacher, I have to say it. If I see someone that can do it, I will say it. She can teach. She takes her time, and she does not even waste time in class. She takes her time, goes step by step, and then give you what you want. In one class, you are done, and you understand it very well. You don't need to ask so much questions. I wish some other instructor can learn from her, because it's not all about coming to class and just saying, you do this, you do that, you do. No, you carry yourself along. Are we together? Are we together? Even most times, are we together? She will look at your expressions and say, and she'll be like, this expression, tell me what is this, what do you not understand? Because there are people that will not talk until you pick them. Even in schools, there are some students that they have issues, but they will not talk until you tell them, what is the problem, before they can open up. She noticed the expression, she observed the expression of all her students, and then she's like, you have seen the expression, what is the problem? Feel free to tell me. Before you know, you see her going back and explaining what it is. And also, there's a personality that you have that I feel you have to teach your subordinates. Yes, how to talk. You can actually put someone down without even being rude. No, for real. Yes. You can actually just tell someone, put someone in their place without being rude or without being aggressive about it. It makes it easy. The person will just be like, okay, that's fine. Yes, you can, and a lot of your subordinates need to learn how to put people in their place without being bossy about it. Because the truth is, I cannot learn from a bossy instructor. Nothing will enter. Because I'm already seeing you like, oh God. And it's really hard. That's why a lot of people feel they hate their math teachers. For real, I can't do that. There are some personalities, for God's sake, you don't need so much to command respect. You just need your courage to command your respect, and people will follow. That's the truth. I've worked as a leader for so many years, and I know what I'm saying. You don't need to be, there are times you go friendly with them, and there are times you just be like, you have to do it, and you see them doing it. Because they know that you can be this and you can be that. So the other thing I want to talk about is, if a person finishes within 12 months, and the person does not want to intend, what should the person do? Because I might not be interested in it. Me, I already made up my mind that this 12 months is not enough. So I'm thinking of extending it, but I don't want to start from beginners, or from basic, or from newbies. I just want to extend it. Let's say, when I was speaking with you before I came here, before I came from Port Harcourt, when I was speaking with you, you said, I told you that I don't know anything about sewing. And yes, you said go for 12 months. And I was like, okay, I'm going for 12 months. Then, I was like, now I'm looking at the curriculum, and one of the best sell for GMIT was the fact that they do both male and female. It's the best sell. A lot of fashion schools just do either female or male. GMIT does everything, which I really appreciate. And actually, if I am here to learn everything, I feel irrespective of the time, I need to learn everything. Because for God's sake, I'm a go-getter. I don't give up. Yes, I don't give up. I'm here to learn both male and female. And that is what I'll do. So my own is, after that term, if I don't want to intend, because intending means I'm actually here and there, I'm teaching and I'm learning. I don't want to teach, I just want to learn. And also, one of the things I saw on the website that actually drew me was the business class. Because I really want to know how to break into the fashion market. There are techniques that you experience, you have gotten over the years, that obviously I know I'm vulnerable to. I don't have it. So I really got interested about the business master class, where we'll sit down and then we'll talk about business.
of business, how to, yes, during the Ashlebi class, we're sort of costing. But I feel there are some experience. You know, when someone talks from experience, is different from someone just giving you the basics of this is it, this is it. You've gone through, you've pioneered this place from scratch. And a lot of us will do that too. Your challenges, and you being a mentor too, was a self. Because your challenges, everything I don't have to go through those challenges. All I need to do is to learn from your challenges and improve. That's what I feel mentoring is. You've gone through it, I'm your student, and you realize, okay, I'm mentoring you, you don't have to go through. I went through this, so that's why most times I look at the policy and I don't have issues with it because this is years of experience. This is years of experience that has been put in place. Because I did business. There are some things they will never tell you. You have to experience it yourself. So, apart from that, the next one I want to talk about is some facilitators, when they teach, they don't tell you how to cut. For God's sake, like last week, we had just Monday. Just Monday, and Tuesday was the restructuring, maintenance day, and we don't see our instructors. And a lot of us, I don't even have the strength to come and start typing. Like me, I was in Port Harcourt on Monday. I came in this morning because I had to go to work. I came in this morning, and I'm like, I was thinking, but I was able to make this outfit, thank God. And I was like, I travel with my tabletop machine, so I was able to make this. But in as much as that, they should tell us how to cut in class. Like when you are done teaching, there's a procedure. You introduce it, you teach it, you tell us in detail. Then you send, because there are some people that cannot ask questions. They cannot go back to start. They feel they are bugging you. So they don't know. Some people are like that. They will just feel they are bugging you. So I tell you they are far away, and me, I was really busy with work. I didn't even have time to go through my telegram. So if I was told how to cut someplace, you say, okay, on your pattern you cut here, because we use pattern in class. You cut here, you cut here, you cut the other side, you cut. It's helpful. It's helpful. At one, just tell them where to cut and sew, but give an instruction that if you must cut, and let's say you are actually drafting on a Tuesday, and your instructors are there for you. If you must cut, you must show them your draft before you cut. But in as much as if you cannot get to them, and you actually know what to, that your draft is okay, you can go ahead and cut and sew. And another thing is, the instructors don't tell us, like when I came here firstly, I wanted to make on the calico, we don't know what front and back is. There's no front, there's no back, everywhere is front, everywhere is back. So on the calico, I didn't even consider, I can just turn my calico anyhow, cut and then draft my skirts. But when we got to fabric, on the first day, I wanted to make peplon top. Believe me, it was the front I turned. Because I was not told what to do. I've not done it before. I was just told, oh, you're going to cut on your fabric. Those little details count. Like you turn from the back, you have to use the back to cut. It was Mr. Abiodi that was passing. Thank you very much. He was passing and he was like, why are you cutting? Why do you want to cut from the front? It's supposed to be from the back. So I had to say, okay. Those little, if he was not there, I would have cut rubbish and did rubbish. And my family would go. So there are some little details that our instructors fail to tell us in class, that we that don't even have idea about fashion, we won't even know, even to ask those questions. That's the truth. People that have idea want to ask, but we don't know. We are yet to learn. We are yet to learn, we don't know. So every little details you have, and that's why I didn't go to the roadside tailor, because I didn't go to a fashion house that is still making clothes for people. Because there are some details they will keep away from you. This is a school. Every single detail I need to learn from the school. Rather than going to a fashion house and being an apprentice for a number of times. Then you know that your mother will surely hide some of her secrets from you. In GMI, there's no secrets. It's an academy, for God's sake. There's no secret. Every little detail has to be spewed out. So that's it for now. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Wow. want you to stop talking. I just need you to just continue so that we can get all the ingredients today. Thank you very much for that. That was quite interesting. And I think I'll still use this opportunity today to answer some of the business questions that you're itching to ask me. So this is not just about the school, but once you get an opportunity, please feel free to ask me, about business if there are some challenges that you're facing currently, or there are some challenges that you think, you would face. Yeah? So please just try and minute it down. I think look at how detailed she was. She was reading from, the minutes that she has. I would like you to, do that now. So if there are some business questions you want to ask me, we'll also use the opportunity, to address them. Wow, thank you very much. So should we take more questions now, or let's answer while you do some minutes? Yes, our student has already chopping money. Please, let's talk to him. He's already a businessman. The one with the sunglasses. So I'll just take that question and then we answer some, then before we move to questions again. Okay.
My question is concerning the vaccine card. Yeah, concerning the vaccine card. Is it compulsory? Without the vaccine card, no entry. Is it compulsory for all students?
Answer the question.
I'm asking you.
Answer it. Recommend.
Some students don't like vaccine. So what is the recommendation for that? And again, concerning the suspension, what are the procedures? So that if you want to suspend, like I don't have any like who call me to just like ask me my offense and stuff like that, or you just send me away. What are the procedures?
How many questions did they ask? Because we need to take them one at a time. Two questions. I got three. Okay, so number one is vaccine card. And then you now said, I said answer the question. You now said some students don't like the vaccine. Some students don't like the vaccine and some students don't like face masks. Spencer, you are the MD for 1 minute. Solve this problem. Yes, you. Students don't like vaccine. Students don't like those. Spencer, you've not taken your vaccine and you remove your face mask. Suspension.
I'm taking my vaccine.
So you don't have issue with vaccine card. Now why are you stressing our life?
What about suspension?
So let's take it one at a time first. So do you have the vaccine card?
I don't have the vaccine card.
So you have not taken your vaccine?
I don't take vaccine.
So why you know interested in the vaccine? Why? You don't believe that there is corona? You don't believe that there is corona? One house, just raise up your hand.
I don't believe in vaccine.
Okay, so what are the preventive measures you put in place since you don't want the vaccine?
Face mask.
But you're not even putting it on.
It's on.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm putting it on. So let's talk about the suspension.
Yes, so if you don't put on your face mask, because we now know that you have not been vaccinated, my eyes is on you, Spencer. If your nose mask is not on 24, or the number of hours you are in this school and we see you, then you will be suspended. Now, is that justified, please?
I don't need to call me.
No, I don't need you an adult, Spencer. I don't need to call you again because you already know that, we've sent memos and I am communicating it to you now. That because you have just confirmed that you have not been vaccinated and you are not interested to be vaccinated, hence you're promising me that your face mask will always be on. So if I don't see your face mask on, I will suspend you. That's the process, right?
I was just eating something and I just put my face mask on.
No, Spencer, don't eat something. Don't eat something. Because it's easier if you're vaccinated, right? to not even have to do with the face mask.
Look at
Then, you feel comfortable, and the mic is me and you today. So you feel comfortable that at least to an extent that you're protected from the virus. Abby, and then the next person is also feeling safe, because if the next person asks, oh, why is Spencer not wearing one house, please? Are we together?
Yeah.
So why is Spencer not having his nose mask on? And then because the school have put down the policy to say when you show your vaccine card, you don't have to do with your face mask, they feel comfortable to say, okay, this person already have, they have taken their vaccine, so I am safe to be with this person without having my face mask on. So that way you can, feel free to eat and do whatever you have to do. I actually don't like face mask. It gives me rash. But I don't have a choice, that's why I'm doing this. I need Spencer to still hold the mic, please. There's another question. So Spencer, so if I suspend you on this, grounds, is it justified?
the face mask.
Yes. Is it justified? Because I don't have to be a business person, right? So we're learning ethics here, we're learning culture, right? You started your business. So if you instruct your staff to do something and they don't do it, right? Are you supposed to call the staff to sit down and say, why didn't you do this? When you know that you already had the session with the staff. Now I'm asking you, now don't say okay, I need to know you understand. Yes or no? So is it justified if you place the staff on suspension? Or you probably fine the staff?
Justified.
It's justified. Okay, I hold the mic for the second question. What is the second question, please?
No question.
No, there's a question. There was another one, please. I need someone to help me. What was the second one? Just the question. So what was the first one I answered? Vaccine card and which one? And suspension. Okay, so I have answered the process for suspension, right? And then the vaccine card. So are we together? We need this vaccine card, right? Are we together? Yes, please, we need the vaccine. So now the reason why we should be vaccinated, I don't have to read up, please. It's important to read up, right? I don't have to start teaching that. It's everywhere. So it's good that we have that, so that the face mask becomes optional. So that we will not suspend one today and not suspend the other. So that it becomes optional. I have been vaccinated. My staff have been vaccinated. You should be vaccinated. It's advisable. You had vaccine, polio, all those measles and all of that. You had it, so there's no difference with this one. So please try and get vaccinated, because trust me, yesterday we actually queried about 3 students. Because I think 3 or 4 students, they all walked in together without face masks. So if you're struggling with this, to have your face mask on, then just get vaccinated. It's not only for yourself, but it's for the as long as you are in this premises, the face mask must be on. If we see it, in fact, you can go for about a month or 2 months suspension. It's that serious. Are we together, please?
Yeah.
Are we together, please? Yes, please go ahead. She has another contribution. Yes, I need her to have the mic. Spencer, did I answer your question? Yes?
Hello everybody once again. Okay, there's something I thought of and I forgot about it. I noticed that we have some secondary school leavers amongst us who don't know their learning style yet, which is making it difficult for them to assimilate what they are being taught. I don't know if there should be a class, because we can have the auditory learners, the kinesthetic learners, the visual learners, the read and writing learners. If there's a class a master class for learners, so that they know how to assimilate. Like there are some people that they can listen, anything that goes through their ears, fine now. There are some people that when they watch, those are the visual learners. When they watch, so they know what works for them. That way, I think a lot of people that are slacking behind and drawing everybody back will be carried along. There's some people that when they see, it's done for them.
So I know that there can be a master class for learners so that they can know their learning ability and know how to be able to achieve something from GMAT before their expiration date. So that's the last thing I have to say. Thank you very much. Yes, she has something to say.
Hello once again. My comment is on the nose mask thing. Vaccination or no vaccination, it doesn't exempt you from having the virus.
True.
So whether you are vaccinated, it doesn't, as long as you're coming into a crowded place, you should have your nose mask on. You should at all times. I've had so many people that have taken all the levels of vaccination and they still caught the bug. You know, saying that vaccination, if you're vaccinated, you can come in without nose mask. I think it's a no-no. We should still have. The only thing is maybe when you're choked, you can just pull down a bit, and then when you caught your breath, you can pull on again. But for no nose mask because you are vaccinated, no man.
No, so I'm not saying no nose mask. I'm saying it becomes optional.
Optional.
So, yes. So because you know that you can still get the virus even though you've been vaccinated,
Yes.
you leave your nose mask on. But there are a lot of people, like you have seen, that don't even want to be vaccinated and don't want the face masks. So the first step that we are taking is at least to be vaccinated, right? And then, you know, the people that are at least, you know, willed to say, I need this because I understand the risk behind it, you know, should just put on their face mask. And even the government is beginning to tune it down because majority of people have taken their vaccine. So we can't force it on people. I mean, the only level I can do now is, this is a serious issue because I've had parents call me to say, I don't want my kids to be vaccinated. And I have to answer, you know, just give them feedback, even 1 a.m. to say, they are not having their face masks on, so there is nothing I can do. They are putting, you know, their fellow classmates, you know, at risk. And God forbid anything happens, it's the organization they will hold responsible. So, but we can defend it if we know that we have majority of you with the vaccinated. You know, so no vaccine card, no face mask, no entry. But please come with your face mask. But if you don't, if you feel you're okay with the vaccine alone, then it's fine, go ahead with that. Because I can't really force the mask on you since the government, you know, is not really forcing that. But vaccine, yes, we can force it because they are all enforcing it.
And the last question I omitted while I was having my time was, I know GMAT is internationally approved. If I want to go study abroad, do you have affiliation with any school of illustration abroad or a fashion school abroad?
I think all you need is just, you know, you write to them, like what we've been doing with our alumni. So you write to them, and then it depends on whatever you want to go learn there. Please get the mic. Depending on whatever you want to go learn there, and we will give you a letter, you know, stating that yes, you graduated from the school, and these are the, you know, knowledge that you have been exposed to. So we are certain that you can do well. So, and I mean, we've gotten, Kevin Woman, she did, I think Sisters Creation also, because we had a lot of them that did that. So, and we have some there currently that's schooling overseas. So, with our letter, it just makes even your application become easy. So yes, so you have to choose your school and then, you know, write to them. They will definitely request this and then we will now write to them on your behalf. So it's part of what you're going to submit. So yes. Yeah, are we together? Are we achieving or making progress so far? Are we making progress so far? Yeah? If we're making progress so far, please indicate so that I know we're moving forward. Can you indicate, please? Is this masterclass or what is this? This Rubbing Minds with MD, is it making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have more questions? So I need you to limit your questions now so that I can answer some of those questions. So try and take your questions down. Yeah? Just raise up your hand so that you can start writing it. I need to answer some of those questions now.
Okay. This question is from Folakem. And the first question she asked was...
One house, I need this to be...
The first question here is, she would like to work under a conducive environment. She needs more table and cutting tables, and working in the classroom as well is a little bit stuffy for her due to the at the back of the class. So that's the first question, like a complaint from her.
So, cutting tables, I will speak with the team to see how we can get more tables before the end of April, March. We should have more tables. So that's a solution. Yes. Second question, the AC in that class is actually new. I mean, it's just a year plus, right? And we usually do servicing, just like we did the machine. The last time we serviced the general AC was, I think, January. When did we service the general AC?
February, before it was
So we serviced the whole AC in February, and I mean, this is just the end of March. So I don't know why that AC is giving problem. And I presume we also have a fan there. Yeah, we have a fan there. So I'll speak with the team to see if we'll have to add more fan or probably change the horsepower for that class, or maybe add more gas, or just probably service it again. But opening the window is not a good idea. Yeah, so
most of us can have our nose mask on because the place is stuck where we are doing this.
So we can open the door down. Most times I see you're closing the door. So you can open the door down, but not the window. Because we don't know the canal, it's not safe. I don't know the things that's coming in. That's one. Number two, if the AC is on and you open the windows, it will spoil the AC because it's, powering air from outside. So, are we conscious enough? Have we been, switching off the AC while opening the windows? I am not sure.
No, the AC is not cooling at all, so we don't even get to put it on. Just the fan.
Okay, so we'll get people to service it. Because we are already collecting, operations manager, we're already collecting the number of ACs for the next service. I think I saw a mail to that effect. So they will service the ACs, I think, anyway, sooner than you think, because like I said, I'm already getting that. We just wanted the machine first. And then if it still doesn't work, then we would probably change the AC there. But opening the windows, any class, is not a good idea. Please, it's important that we don't open any of the windows because it's going to bring dust. There's just so many negative stuff attached to opening the windows. If we have to add more fans, rather we do that than opening the windows. And then we can also open the doors down. And rather we open the doors down if the class is, becoming too stuffy. Right? And then learn to send a mail. If your class is having issues, you have a governor or deputy, I don't know. Send your complaints. We don't want to send it to the school. Send your complaints to your governor together. Let the governor collate it on behalf of the class and then send it to the management department that you want, the issues to be addressed. So that we don't even have to wait until we collate all organizational programs before we attend to your class. Am I communicating, please? Are we together? Are we together? Yes. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
the next question from her is that she's concerned about the timing of classes and the events, most especially Babylon.
So, we have decided in our last management meeting not to wait for students again. This is, in fact, it's even bad enough that the students are having a lot of challenges and you are not here today, having pre-informed that I would be here. We have like over 200 students and I have what numbers here. As at 10, we had 10 a.m., in Central African time, we had just 13 students. I decided to give a 10 or 15 minute break and I said, let me just come and start. So even if I had only 5 students here, I would have addressed only those 5 students because it means, they understood why they were here. And I would not want them, to be dragged by unserious students. So going forward, the same thing we have discussed within the management for the fabric week, instead of waiting for students to come, like we were doing before, you come late, you will be suspended, or you will be, asked to do double project, and they will tell you not to showcase. But it's just so sad that we are not cultured enough to do the right things at the right time, that we have to be flogged as children. And then if you start getting all those kind of vibes from the management, you start feeling uncomfortable, you start losing interest because you start feeling choked. But then you're beginning to push the management to the point where we now have to start treating you like you're in secondary school. This is an adult school, for God's sake. This is adult skill and education. We're not supposed to be forcing you to do things. Nonetheless, even for fabric week, like I said, if it's only 5 students that are here, the next time we have fabric week, if it's 5 students that are here at that time, that is when we will start. Master class, the same thing. Had a meeting with the management team as well, and we discussed it, this same class issue. Students should be seated 8:45. The facilitator shouldn't go into the class before you. Should be seated and waiting for your facilitator. Business schools, you can't distract your facilitator once they are teaching. You come late, you are shut off until they have maybe lunch break or they have maybe breaks before the next class. So you miss a session, and that is what it should be. So we have the general class in the morning. Once it's 9, 1 or 2 students, the facilitator starts. And then when it's time for your few minute break, you go for your maybe 5 or 10 minute break, and then you come back and do the one-on-one or the group session. It depends on how the facilitator is managing your class. And once it's 12, you leave for the next batch. So if you come late, the facilitator is not supposed to attend to you to take you back. Because you're dragging other students back. Imagine it's beginning to affect the mentality of the student to say, okay, why am I coming late? And why am I coming early? Let me come late. We all have responsibilities. We all have responsibilities. You have to be disciplined to know what you really want. Amidst all those things that we're doing, I and the team, at night, you see us reading. And how many of you know I'm a student? I'm back to being a student. I read in the night because I don't have a choice. I need it. So I can't say because I have done this meeting, I've done management meeting, I've attended to authorizations and all of that, and then I don't have time to read. What am I doing? Doing myself. So even the team, I tell them, you have to read. Last night, what time were we collating the assignments that we have? What time was that?
11.
After working, all of us will still go in the night to read and be doing assignments. Like, do you understand what we do here? And then you will be sleeping and be strolling into class. You are not ready. Don't forget that we also have children to take care of. We have husbands to take care of. And then we have ourselves to take care of. Aside all those things that we were doing last night, I showed you this morning. I was on admission. I'm here because of you. I can't reschedule. Because first time we're having a day with the MD, and then I say, oh, of course I'm not feeling well. And then I'm rescheduling with the students. You won't take me seriously. So you have to prioritize your life. I'm not saying do all. Do the best you can But make sure that when you do it, it makes sense. You get value from it. The feedback I have gotten thus far, we're going to work on it, and this is also going to, help take the company, to the next phase where we can, serve even the students that are going to come, after you better. But imagine if I had missed this just because I want to see that I am not feeling fine. So you all need to be disciplined enough. Set your alarm. All of you have a phone. You have Google Assistant. Tell your assistant to wake you up. Wake you up, take your bath, do your morning exercise, and then at least do whatever prayer, whatever morning routine you should have. Make your bed. It starts with as little as that. And then you come to school at the right time. Let's see discipline in you first. Because you have to lead by example. You will have a team. They will watch how you lead. Can't cross your leg and be doing beauty or be doing clothing or whatever. Those are not bad. I think you have to balance your life. It depends on what you want. I balance my life in reading. You don't have to be like me, But you just prioritize it so that they see that there is discipline in this person. So that when you're communicating, they're understanding. Not do what I say. It's do what I do. So that you can correct and caution. So for the late coming, going forward, speaking to my management staff now, like I've said in the meeting, you don't wait for anybody. Once it's time, it's time. And I thought, I saw it, we implemented that. The HOD's class, Mr. Abiodun, he collected the list, because I'm in all the groups, he collected the list for the morning batch and the afternoon batch. And we told them, that this was the time, and I think he actually stick to it. Mr. Abiodun, am I communicating? I think I saw you do that. Yeah, so the whole facilitator, we've had a meeting as regards this, and we are beginning to implement it. So you come late, they lock you up, so that you don't disturb the next phase. We are also putting in structure. As we're saying, we're doing the structure for the students, we're also doing the structure. Because the team, they also need to rest. They are teaching from morning till even after 3 p.m. Students are dragging them back. They need their life as well. They need to go for breaks. Sometimes they don't eat. And then after that, the management will still call them for meeting. After teaching, sometimes we leave here at 7, 8. So you students need to become disciplined so that it doesn't affect, how we are also impacting this knowledge. I mean, you're saying that the students, the facilitators sometimes come out, as bossy. When you feel like you're giving too much and you're being taken for granted, sometimes, as humans, sometimes it makes you react. We must always learn to, be calm. We must always learn, to communicate without, coming up as that. But nonetheless, the students should not take the excesses that we're giving them for granted. We have to be self-disciplined before we can now start, even thinking of managing business, customers, and even the staff that we will get eventually. Please, have I communicated that? Yes, go ahead. Yeah, I want you to make, is it as regards this?
Regarding the timing.
The timing, go ahead.
Regarding the timing, I just want to know if every Friday there will be this kind of sessions.
This kind of session? Do you want this session to be every Friday?
Because this is my second Friday, and then the last Friday also I came, and then the illustration started around 11 o'clock. However, I came at 9, and then even today it's after 12. So I just want to know if every Friday there will be a long sessions like this.
Oh, no. So it's because you're new. Now, I'm trying to make out time to address the students' issues because I've seen that they are not open to talking. Majority of the students just bottle up, right? Even though we've created a lot of channels for them to communicate. And if we don't get the feedback, positive or negative, we cannot serve you. So the day with the MD, we're looking at, having it maybe quarterly, or maybe twice in a year. because we need you to get used to sending mails. Now, when you also came, Fabric Week, which was on Friday, every end of the month is a culture, the last Friday of the month, that you showcase what you have been taught in the month. So you'll be taught first week, second week, and third week. The fourth week, last Friday, we want to see what you have learned, during the course of that 1 month, and then you showcase. But don't worry, you'll soon be tired of projects. So not every Friday, it's just the 2 Fridays that you come.
Okay, so there will be a time given, like from this time to this time, because I have to plan accordingly. Like even today, I didn't know that there will be we'll pass 12. So I came at 9 thinking I'll finish at 12, but it's like going on.
Oh, okay, so that's the thing. The day with the MD should be, I'll try as much as possible to answer as much questions as I can. But I mean, it would do me good if you want me to stop now.
No,
Can we
I
stop
didn't
now?
mean that. I just wanted to.
Okay, so can we give ourselves a time?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
what you want?
that works.
Okay, so when do you want us to stop taking questions? 1:30. What is time now? 12:39. So we have just 1 more hour. Okay, so can we have a timekeeper? 10 minutes of the time. Say stop. Don't ask questions. Yeah?
No, I don't mean that. Like, if I have a certain timing, like if you have mentioned from 10 to this timing, so I would have organized my day with that.
Okay, so because this is the first time we're doing it with the students, this set of students, we can't really put a time because I don't know the kind of questions that they will be asking. And if I had come out to say it's only 2 hours, it wouldn't, sound nice.
Yeah.
And they won't feel comfortable. It will just be, coming to see the MD's face and that's it. But, I'm here, for you to tell me, stop. So whenever you want me to stop, just say, okay, stop, and then we can call it a day.
And also I have one suggestion or recommendation.
Yes, please, go ahead.
As being a new joiner, I have just noticed that, anyone is joining anytime. Like there is not a proper batch. Like for me, I joined 2 weeks back, and then after me, the same, the next day another one will join. So even for the first latest, it is difficult for them to teach one student the same thing today, and then tomorrow the same thing to another student. So, like an example, like she joined this week, right? So we were taught how to sketch a body, and then she also had to do the same thing, which means she missed like few of the things before what we learned.
No, so you're not missing out on anything. The way our program is structured is such that, you'd be given series of projects, and with time, you would, go back to whatever they've been taught. So you're literally not missing out in a sense. So if you were to make, maybe this month they're teaching maybe series of skets, right? So you come when they're teaching maybe pencil sketch, and then you're in the same class and you moved on to say maybe tulip sketch or something in that same class. Now the new students that are coming, they'll still take the sketch, right? The same pencil sketch, but it's not affecting you that's talking. So don't worry, you're not to worry about the people that are, that are just coming in, but focus on yours. Because you see, the fact that you're dedicated enough to come this week does not necessarily mean you'll be available to come for a month. So, are you missing out?
No,
You understand? So we will try as much as possible to have people learn at their own pace, but the curriculum is built such that we try as much as possible to, repeat the same thing that's being taught, but, have a theme in terms of different projects. We call it different projects, yeah? So you're doing Fabric Week, you're learning, a particular sector in the fashion industry, so say maybe streetwear. Yeah, and then in between you're doing trousers, you're doing joggers, you're doing, your hoodies and all of that. And then again, it will tell you, okay, there's another project for corporate wears. You have to repeat trousers again, right? And so you see, you're doing the project, you're learning pocket bands, you know, and all of that. See, you're doing the same trouser project, or repeating the same lectures, right? But it's being called different projects. So you will do a lot of projects, but you're not missing out on anything. Do you understand? Please, am I communicating?
Yes.
Am I communicating, please? Yes. Okay.
You know, my perspective is that, like if there is a batch of students, let's say, even if it is 6 or 10.
Yeah, so that's what we want to do now. We're not going to remove this our structure for people that want to learn everything. But we are beginning to implement a structure such that if you don't want to learn the rest of the things, you just focus on one thing. So every time you come to school, they just take you to that class. Like when I started the conversation, I said bridal. But the theme to that would also be different. So, and trust me, from what I know, when we have all these options, the tuitions be broken down, and you know that the benefit or the privilege to get everything is just, the difference is just 100,000, as to you just learning one bridal, or learning one illustration, or learning a particular topic. You see that majority of the students will also, you know, choose the general, because like someone also said, that is our strength, our ability to teach varieties. That's our strength. But if the students are craving one, then we will give them one. But we would also not force it on the people that want varieties, because majority wants varieties. But you have the opportunity to look out for those classes and then work with your facilitator to say, okay, I don't want to join this class, I want to join that class. And then of course it will be open to you.
No, I'm not talking about the senior students, for the new joiners.
Yeah, the same thing with the newbies. The same thing with the newbies. Now, don't forget, there are different kind of newbies. It's important that we focus on us and not another person. There are students that have prior knowledge before coming here. Maybe they've learned from the roadside, they've learned freehand from maybe like a tailoring shop or something. Now, the ability or the pace at which they will use in assimilating things or learning will be different from you that don't have a basic skill. So even when you're in the same class, maybe you joined 1 week and you're now in Tulu Square, those students that have prior knowledge, they can come to the same class, and before you know it, they can even move on to the next class. So you don't think that they're not teaching you, but because they have the basic knowledge before coming, you know, they're able to move them to another class. So work with your facilitator and focus on you. Don't worry about another person. If you're having challenges, communicate with your facilitator and you should be fine. Yeah?
Thank you.
Praise the Lord.
The last question for Folakem. She asked if it's possible for her to choose a area of specialization.
Oh yes, that's what
So
we're
we just
doing.
answered that, right? So this is for
Just send a mail so that, you know, I will have the head of school, you know, put you in some classes. Mostly for those people, yes, no. Mostly for the students that are about to graduate. I want to know what you would like to learn so that we can move it forward. You know, you still have to cover a lot of projects, but we can move yours forward for everybody to learn. So if we have majority of you saying, I want to learn male wears, we'll move it forward as the project. If we have majority of you saying, I want to learn bridals, we'll move it forward. If we have majority of you saying, I want to learn draping, we'll move it forward. Yeah? So please, let's learn to communicate. I want to see males flying, going forward. Are we together? Yes. Okay.
This question is from Victoria.
Don't forget we're on time now, so one house.
She asked, she said she's actually not interested in drawing the full body in illustration class. So she prefers using the books instead of.
So trust me, everything that we have done so far is for the students. You can decide you don't want to learn how to draw your croquis, but it's important that you do. You will need it. Check our history, the projects that we've done. Initially, in fact, last year, we just restructured our curriculum. date last year and this year. This illustration you're seeing now. Check our history. We don't used to do, we have croquis. We don't, and just flat sketches. We don't teach you how to draw the, human anatomy and all of that. And then when it's time for you to now do your 3D project, we get pictures online. So we get pictures online, cut it out, and then we now start putting the fabrics on the 3D, to form the 3D. And then the ones that now attempt to draw, because that is what it should be. My work shouldn't be copy and paste. My work should be from start to finish. You see the head looking like what you don't want. You learn from your mistake. You learn from your struggles. The only way you can be perfect is when you draw the Adama lizard and before you know it starts forming into a shape. So don't shy away from the ugly, because those are histories that you will fall back to. Those are the histories that you say, yes, this is my progress. This is what I was drawing before. I mean, I get testimonials from, the students when they are graduating, and they say the facilitators used to really laugh at them that, the way they draw their stuff, but now, they've improved. So I understand that even when you are engaging a client, the time it would take you to draw, your croquis, you would rather use it to, just draw your flat sketch or the design and then show your client. But when you understand the figures, how to draw them, it's easier for you to also communicate those styles to your client. When you understand body shapes and you want to recommend a style, it's easier to communicate it, unlike you just knowing how to draw the designs. Every little details matter. Every little details matter. So please, we don't just want you to be drawing designs. Start from primary 1 so that when you enter bridal, you will not be confused. They are all important. And it gives you an edge, knowing that you're designing from start to finish. It really gives you an edge. I mean, we have the croquis, so it's not really about us giving you the croquis. You have the croquis and you have the flat sketches. So because you have all the knowledge, right, it just gives you confidence. That's what we're trying to do. Not that, and no knowledge is waste too. No knowledge is waste. So since you have the opportunity, why not just learn it? So I'll try as much as possible to have us use more of the croquis, right? And you know why you can even make the best out of your croquis is when you can even do your, draw your human anatomy and your fleshing out and the curves and all of that. So when you understand the body type already, it's easy for you to just work on your croquis. And once you even know, most of the croquis that we have, from what the students are illustrating now, their illustration is even finer than the croquis that we have. You might not even want that again. And it's just building your confidence. So open your heart to it. Please, it's important. Yeah? Thank you very much.
Okay. This is actually a complaint, and she said she actually won the scarf.
Oh, sorry. And then so now, with even those, initially the croquis, we just have colors. We just have the students color, and then you see that it's not aligned. But now, because you're taking your time to shade, you shade hair, you shade eyes, you shade brows, you shade... So by the time you now move on to coloring, your colors will be in sync. Imagine I saw this beautiful illustration that, she played with blue, and then the blue had different layers. It was you. You would draw eye and nose. Please, It's good that we open our hearts to it. It's very important. Yes, please go ahead.
We want the staff to know how to address students without being bossy, and also to understand the teaching techniques and relate with the students politely.
Okay, so I already, addressed, the coming up of sometimes staff being overworked, being overwhelmed, and feeling underappreciated. There are a lot of reasons, why all these things happen. We as students also need to not expect so much, because you know that we are all humans. So if you expect so much from a person, it means you're already trying to look for fault, and when you are looking for the fault, you will find it. So let's give each and every one of us a benefit of the doubt and just say, you know, you're stressed, so I didn't like how you communicated, you know, this to me, but please, you know, talk to me in so and so manner next time. And it's just communication, you know, back and forth, whether you're a student or you're a staff, you know. But you would also know when a staff is becoming insulting or when a student is becoming insulting. So please, that is not tolerated. You know, we don't tolerate it at all. It's prohibited in the organization. If a staff come out, you know, as not bossy, but come out as being rude or intimidating, or, you know, like, I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to communicate, bullying, right? Just write to the school and then we'll see how to address it. But I don't think any of the staff, you know, do that, because literally we're here to serve you, and you cannot be bossing your clients, your customers, right? So we cannot be bosses over you. We're here to serve you, but we also need to, you know, teach you to do the right thing. So we're your coaches, we're your mentors, we're your teachers, you know. So you also have to, you know, give us that respect that is due. Otherwise, you won't get the best of us. Yeah. Am I communicating, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she asked about the bidding class.
No. There was another question before the bossing.
Was that?
There was a question before the bossing.
Okay. She talked about...
techniques. So we have two issues. Sewing techniques and house training techniques. So if we don't have the videos, we should write the mail so that we can have them put in place. I would also speak to the facilitators to see how we can implement this and have it as a master class. We can have it as a master class, so we send it across to the students. On so and so day we're having sewing techniques, on so and so day we're having, so all those very interesting details, you know, how to fix zips and all of that, I think we'll have it as a master class. I'll try and adjust our curriculum. Am I communicating, please?
So, about the bidding class, is one of the reasons why she's here. So.
Okay, so we don't have bidding on our page. So the same thing with illustration. Bidding is a curriculum on its own. Bidding takes time. We don't do things because we want to do them. It's just like photography as well. They have models for these things. We don't just want to add it, just to say, okay, we're teaching you this, and then we don't teach it in details. If we are to add bidding to our curriculum, we'll have the textbook, we'll have the notes, we'll have the videos. It's like meeting. You sit down from morning to night. So bidding is another industry on its own. In fact, there's a designer that I know that all she does is bidding, like from head to toe. When I was running the hotel business, we had a bidder, and that was all he does. Some of the outfits, I don't know if you've seen it, bid. But the word, like I said, I've moved forward. You can actually get away with appliques now. Beautiful appliques. So your creativity comes in. Thank God for illustration, right? Your creativity comes in. With appliques, you can form anything. Even put applique in the entire, I don't know if you've seen the suits I wore for the previous graduation. Those are appliques. Not that bidders cannot do it, but the time they spend in doing those bidding, is that what you really want to do? You know, there are people that also do tambo bidding. So bidding is a curriculum on its own. So you have to go, you can't be doing pattern drafting and bidding. You have to go to the school for bidding and invest time for bidding. Illustration, you can get away with it, but trust me, even illustration is a course curriculum on its own. I have a lot of people, is it Canon or so, and Nikon, they're writing us mails to say they want to introduce photography here. But I'm just thinking, what time? Where's the time? How do I infuse it in the curriculum? You know, even though you need it. In fact, instead of me to add bidding, I'll add photography first. Because I'm seeing some students take some pictures, and I'm wondering, yeah? But you need all those with your phone. You can actually do a lot of things. With your people. In fact, it was a winner, illustration winner. I saw the blurry picture on your page and I'm wondering, see this beautiful project, see the way you built this project. Oh, you know, the pictures were so blurry. And then so I wanted to comment and say, you need to fire the person that took you the picture. But I now thought about it, you that even posted the picture, it means you did not identify the problem. You know? So I would rather even add photography to, you know, to the class, you know, instead of video, because that's what we'll use in promoting our brand. People relate to pictures, like she said, you know, they will see your creativity from this visual and all of that. So maybe the next thing we'll add is maybe photography, but video and that digital illustration will take time. And then I also need, you know, more people to recommend. If I see that a lot of people are interested in it, then we can now form, you know, a curriculum for it. Please, I hope I'm answering your question so far. Yeah? Okay.
Okay. The last one is, she requested for a master class for slow learners, especially recent secondary school leavers, as they drag them back in classes.
Okay, so the thing is, trust me, I want to teach you everything. Everything. In fact, when we started, if the students used to make jest of me that if I see people learning how to make tire on the road, I want to add it to the curriculum. You know, we used to even have this PE in an art and craft, but we had to remove it because it was distracting a lot of students. So, do you have the time for me to add extra? That is the thing. I think we should take it upon ourselves to learn. It's not everything that, you know, the school will teach you. They have a lot of books, textbooks that you can read. Where is the operations manager? What they call those foundation textbook, intellectual, no, books. There are some books that you can read on your own. There was a student that was asking you for something to read, to teach, because she can't speak well, and then you were recommending some books. What are those books? Brighter Grammar, thank you. Why are you not remembering? You see, it's tired too. So there are Brighter Grammar, there are also a lot of books that you can read. Do research online. You see, Google is your friend. There's nothing that you want that you can't find on Google. Even how to cook a goosey soup is on Google. You know? So how to communicate effectively is on Google. So try and do research yourself. Because how do we organize a master class to teach cognitive skill, or to teach, I don't know, how to read ABCD, or to teach, I don't know. What I think we can do is the masterclass for business. So I'm speaking to our account officers, for instance, to see how we can organize some masterclasses for finance, since we are also having it, or we are also facing the challenges here. So imagine the bank create a module and come teach you about basics of finance, teach you costing properly, teach you pricing, teach you, you know, how to manage your business, and even how to access single-digit loans. Those are the kind of master classes I would bring in, but also communicate it to you, because we actually had some things like this in the past, and some students said we're wasting their time because they wanted to draft patterns, and we're carrying business on top of their head. See, managing people is one of the things that you will also learn. So anything that makes me react, know that I'm getting it from majority. If I get the vibes that is eating into your space, then I will back down. Just like the new student also complained. 2 Fridays he's been in school, and we are having this kind of discussions. But are they important? Yes, they are important. But how open are you to them is what we now have to work with. Am I communicating, please? So we are going to have some master classes, but we'll try as much as possible not to make sure, or to make sure rather that it doesn't really eat into your programs. So hopefully before you leave, we'll have like a small module for you, you know, a business model for you that you can work with. Are we communicating? Are we together? Are we together? Are you sure we're together? I can't hear your voice. Are we together? Yes. Okay, I just want to be sure that you're not sleeping. Okay, next question please. That's all. Okay, how many more minutes do we have? Oh, 30 minutes, beautiful. 27 minutes, okay. Okay, so should we continue with the challenges or you want to add some business questions? One house, we have questions. Okay, go ahead.
We only have one person that runs house now.
Okay.
And who is Maureen? Okay, that's the first one.
Maureen, go ahead.
Hello everyone,
Okay.
good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I like your outfit. I saw you showing up.
Thank you. I'm being myself.
Nice.
Thank you, ma'am. So my question is, initially when I read this term, I spoke actually with you on WhatsApp, and I told you that I had the intention of ordering this later. And then you said I should, I suggest I do 9 months instead of the 6 months I wanted to do. So now, the course I wanted to do in Canada, there are some issues because my hand is not really strong, and just like the structures they're trying to put in place here, they are not giving me everything. I have to focus on one particular thing once I get there. So they don't know, have you done this before? They don't care about that. I'm coming to do this, and that's what I'm going to do straight. So my suggestion rather is after, let's say, probably after the 9 months or 12 months, depending on what the person is here for, can there be like an extension for a particular class? Let's say I'm here for ready to wear. Should there be like a 3 months course focused on that particular thing you want to? I'm ready to pay for it. It shouldn't be like on what's it called, on what I've paid now. I now want to specialize on this. I've learned everything I want to learn. Now I want to go fully on this.
Yes, I think I already said that. So we're structuring programs, for that. And I think this month we're going to release, like prizes for all this. So even the ready to wear is part of it, and it will just be, that, and you pay certain amount, to do that particular program as well. Having to do with even productions and all of that, sizing. Yes, we would learn that.
Because my reason was that I noticed that I was trying to manipulate necklines. Normally we'll have all that, but there's some tacky ways I'll see on YouTube. There's some designs there's some channels I follow, I pay for them. The way they're drafting it, there's some dresses that look funny. I can't actually manipulate how my pattern is straight. I'm taught how to shape it, but I'm not taught how to add an extra paper, probably to get something extra for clothes that goes halfway. So I have a lot of those videos, but when I try to work with them, they're always quite complex, and that should actually be a class, a particular class, not like everything jammed together.
Correct.
So
we're working on it. So you would get, and I like the fact that you're even open to paying extra, because that's what we are. That's what. Okay. We're having more instructors join you guys. Yeah. You will not clap. I will tell you how to clap. Okay, so don't worry, we're restructuring the curriculum. So even before you even leave, if there's some sessions that you would like to take, so you start identifying it and then you start moving to those classes. That's why I want feedback. And that's why I said, I even need you to send mails. So imagine what would you like to learn next month? In fact, let's even take the first year. What would you like to learn next month? We have a Ashwebi now. Should we move the Ashwebi and do something else? Okay? So after that, the following month, we're looking at doing bridal. So should we move the bridal and do something else? No. I will bite all your ear, one by one. So if, because we have majority and we're looking at some, strong projects that you can do, we try to push those projects forward. But we're also being careful, because imagine why don't you do bridal in January? It's because you don't understand the foundation yet. So we're taking our time to introduce these things. Nonetheless, if you know that your program is about to expire and there are some things that you're missing out on, write to the school, and if there is a class that is addressing that at that moment, they will move you to the particular class. I mean, we're that open, we just need you to ask. Do you understand? Yes, and then so the company, like I said, is also restructuring to have detailed session on the different sectors in the fashion industry. So if you're not interested in a particular one anymore, you know, you can join. Like illustration, for instance, now 3 months is 250,000. So it's going to be a cost on its own as well. God help the students that are coming, because with this diesel price, let me not go and even chase the students away. You know, but we have to become structured, because, you know, the students are, a lot of people are asking for it, maybe because they are not the team. When we go that route, which is the norm, you will appreciate what you are getting now. Yes. When you live here and you start your business, you will appreciate what you're getting now. One of my alumni chatted me up last week and said she was, because majority of them also have their fashion schools, right? So she chatted me up and please sit down. So she chatted me up and she said, you can continue with the question, but you can sit down. So she chatted me up and she said she was having issues with a student that made tuition fee, made payments, attended class for some time, and said she's no longer interested and she wants refund. And they said, do you have policy? Because we've always had policy from the onset, so which means you already have a structure, a manual to go start yours. You should build on it. And she said that she wrote the non-refund on her Instagram page, and I'm wondering, how? Where is your policy? Do you understand? Because once you come in, you've learned my structure and my trade secret, and you've used some of my tips. How are you waking up to say you want a refund? What happened? What challenges are you facing so that we can address it? And I asked her, where are you now? She said she's not even around. So who is addressing the issue that you are having? So you can see that there are a lot of misplaced priorities. So it's important that every free thing that you are getting now, you don't take it for granted, because trust me, when you start, the students are not my friends, they are alumni, they are my friends, they are always calling. So that is when you will understand what we are giving you now. So be open to it. Am I communicating, please? Am I communicating, please? Yes. Okay. Yes, you still have a question, go ahead.
Okay, from what I understood from everything you said now is that a structure is being put in place for this. So I don't need to extend now. I should wait for that, so I can just, after my 9 months, I'm moving directly to the ROTW.
After 9 months, you'll be preparing for graduation?
No, after 9 months, I have to move to the ready-to-wear class. That's my question. After the 9 months, which you're giving me everything, I have to now.
Okay, so you don't want to graduate yet?
No.
So you just pay for the class and just
okay,
continue.
that particular class now.
Yes, and just continue.
Okay.
Oh yes, but I mean, trust me, you want to graduate.
I want.
Okay. You see now, get me weakness, so.
Don't say never.
Because you can graduate and continue to learn.
Yes.
Our graduation is like the most interesting part of the training here. By the time you see students creating collections to show the world that they have gone through the right training, by the time you want to be rewarded for all the sleepless nights, you want your certification, then you now say, every I want to graduate, I'll say no. You said you don't want to graduate. No, you can graduate with, you know, having learned all the skill and then showcase something on the runway, then come back, you know, and focus on that class. But it's also your choice. You can say, I don't want to graduate, I want to focus on this class now. It's optional. Whether open, I mean, it depends on you.
My reason is that the course I'm going to do, ready to work, is 3 years in Canada. So why would I learn that in 3 months?
No, so
it's 3 years to learn that particular from foundation to what I want to do. So how can I grab that in?
No, so there is no way, you know, like you said it when we started, there's no way you can learn everything here, right? In even 1 year. We already know that. What we're doing there is just a summary of all foundations. So that wherever you choose, even if you don't want to go to Canada to go and learn, your business, by the time you start managing staff, students, and clients, creating designs for them, you continue to learn in the process. So you need time. It's only time that can really teach you. So even if you do extra 3 months with the ready to wear, it's only the basics that you would learn. There's no way we will cover the whole curriculum. It's the same thing that we're saying. Do you understand? So you're just going to learn like the basics. So grading, for instance, right? It's part of your ready to wear. So you're going to learn that so that when you go there, you understand some basics. You're not confused when they are talking. So everything will teach you there, it's just basic. Yeah? Am I communicating? Yes. Yeah, so there's no way you would learn everything in 3 months. It's not possible. So, and then the way we are also doing it, the facilitators will look at the programs, the different curriculums that we have, and then attach the months that, you know, can be aligned with the particular topic. Like for bridal, you can use, at least, even if, because you have a crown on it, you can learn it within 3 months. So imagine if you don't have the basic knowledge. But we'll try as much as possible to just make it 3 months for people that already have, you know, that started their business but just want to, you know, specify on that or just, you know, focus on that so that at least they can have the basic knowledge of the class. And then with time, by the time they start creating more collections with their clients, you know, they just learn from there. So it's still basic that we'll be teaching you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're
So
welcome.
my second question, rather, I'll say it's suggestion. Andre made mention about the digital illustration. I collected the names that day for the digital illustration. And I noticed that getting people to write in the course form is tedious.
Mail.
One, I have to...
Use mail.
Nobody's answering me. And then
you mean they're not serious. That's what I'm talking about. If you cannot make the effort to write mail, it means you don't need it.
No. Ma, but this is a school, right?
Yeah.
So I should be able to say this is what I want to do and I can pay for it.
Okay, so the school needs to, if it's not in our curriculum, we have a curriculum and it's there. We'll tell you this is what we're teaching. And we actually put a lot of things in place. We considered a lot of factors before putting those curriculum. Because we're very big on the brand, the name. We're big on perfection. We're big on, you know, deliverables. So we don't just want to add bidding because we want to say we're teaching bidding and then we'll teach you just the basic, just like you're doing your straight line and zigzag and all of that. Then we'll just teach you the basic of bidding. So, you know, we used to have it now. We just draw some pencils and then you do your straight bidding, then you do your twist bidding, then you do your whipped bidding. So there are names like that. So we don't want to just teach you basic. We need you to go through the whole entire process. Like these flowers on your outfits now, you will give the entire flowers. So you do patterns out of beading and it takes a lot. So if you want us to add it to our curriculum, like some of the things I have mentioned that we have to put in place, which will take time, resources, energy, a lot, right? Then we need you to want it. But if you don't show that you want it, you want to learn it from here, then there are other schools that you can learn it from. Do you understand? Do you understand?
I understand, but...
No, make me understand, I mean.
Okay. I'm not talking about video, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
My main focus is the pattern drafting, sewing, and being able to actually picture what I want to make in that colorful way.
Yes.
That's digital illustration. Yes. Once I say, okay, let's assume now you want us to collect names, collect post forms, and then write emails.
Yes.
At the end of doing that, they just give us the names and then the emails, and they're still not interested. It's about what's as in the drive for the person that wants to do it.
Yeah, but why are you thinking of yourself? It's collecting names.
She wants to do it also.
Collecting names and gathering people is the least of the process that we go into bringing this curriculum in place. Do you want us to get facilitators, buy the license to the app for this digital illustration. I mean, we have sample. Where is Mr. Femi? Collect the sample. We have digital illustration kits. Collect the sample. Now, we had it before, like I said, we partnered with a school. All they teach is just illustration. And this man will come from mainland. These students actually were paying. If you check the cost form, you see that they were paying for illustration. Not now that is free. So there's manual illustration kit and there's digital illustration kit. These students were paying and they were not attending class. Having built curriculum, having, put a lot of things in process, and the students were not attending class. This man said, forget the fact that you're buying our supplies. I'm not interested. And he stopped coming. So you're collecting them is the least of the process that will go into this. And how do you want us to feel if, like imagine today, if I had started and finished with 13 students as at 10 a.m., do you think I will hold MD meeting with the MD again? I won't. So I work with feedback. So if you really want this thing, see now, we had it. We don't do things halfway. When I do things, I do it to the end. Like get the standard, up to standard. You see students in class, thank you here. You see students in class with their laptop learning digital illustration. We have pictures from 2018, 2019. But they attend class 1 month, after 1 month, they don't want to attend again. I have 2 facilitators, plus the owner of the school that was doing it. So if you really need it, then I can reference you to the school. Maybe you go learn it from there. I think it's easier for us to do that. Maybe make arrangements for them. I can reach out to the man. But I will bring it here. The students will have to write for me to, because I have suffered. It's the truth. How can I be forcing you to learn? Learning is for yourself, it's not for me. But the reason why I'm interested is so that I can boast and say, oh yes, see our students, teacher's pride. I trained this person and this person is doing well. So I want to give you everything. But whereby I'm forcing you to learn it, it means you will not even do it well now. So I don't want to be affiliated with you. And it takes a lot to invest in all these things. So since you really want it, reach out to me. This is the easiest one. Let me recommend, and have the man, structure a program for you and see what it will cost for just you. And, it won't be between GMI. So you pay and you don't attend the class on your own. Because if you pay and you're not attending class, I will want to either suspend you or query you. Because I'm a very disciplined person. Do you understand? And I don't want to be forcing my students to learn. You see, even our executive students, we don't force them to do assignments. Do you know? We don't force our executive students to do that because they tell you they are working and all of that. But if I'm telling you to do assignments, considering the short period that you have, it means I want you to learn and get the very best. But if you're not rubbing it on my face and saying, why are you not understanding me? I don't want to do fabric thing. Okay, I answer. But now, they are now craving the new set and now suffering it. They are now craving that they are not telling them to showcase. For the previous set I was telling to showcase, they were seeing me as a tyrant. So you understand? So we're working with people, but it's the feedback that I get from you that I will use to manage you. Like I said, it's an adult school. I have to treat you as an adult. Otherwise, if I force you to learn, it will not sink. You must be receptive as to what you want to learn. I hope I answered your question. Yes. Yes, please. 8 minutes remaining. So do we want to take any business question or same complaint?
Yeah, we still have like
You have question?
No, you can't, please. You can't. You have people on the list, please. There are people on the list.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. This is coming from the staff. Is there a way we could regulate the number of students in the academy? Because it turns out that there are too many students in a particular class, and it's very difficult to grasp the knowledge being passed across. And the instructors are overwhelmed. They cannot attend to the needs of all the students. Can we have 3 classes instead?
Yes, do you want to have 3 classes instead? If you want to have 3 classes, please raise up your hand. governors in your class?
Yes.
If you have governors in your class, please raise up your hand. What class are you? The Bell class. So we have governor in the HOS class. Do we have governors in the HOD's class? Okay, let me do we have governor in USBs and UBs? Do we have governor in freshers class? Do we have governor in beginners class? Do we have governor in intermediate class? Yes, governor is in you are the governor?
No, I don't even know what the governor is.
Do you have governor in intermediate class? Who is your governor? I need someone to stand up. Who is your governor? The governor in intermediate class. Hello? Do you have governor in your intermediate class? Is the governor here? You don't have a governor. Do you have governor in advanced class? Is the governor here? Can I see the governor, please? Governor in advanced class, can I see you? Let's give him a round of applause, please. Governor, please stand up. A governor that is missing out on meeting as important as this is not a governor. Do you agree?
Yes.
Because there are a lot of students that are not here today that when they resume class would ask questions. How did it go? Did we benefit a lot of things? And who will communicate this to the student is the governor. Do you have a deputy for the advanced class? Can I see the deputy, please? Can I see the deputy, please? The deputy is not around. The deputy that can miss the sign of the meeting is what? Is not a deputy. Okay, I want us to organize an election. We'll have to vote our governor that will represent us and our deputy that will represent us. You know that it's not every time that you can reach out to the management, but you can actually reach out to your governor and your governor will put, things forward to your management. Yeah? Mr. Rex, have you solved any problem on behalf of your classmates? You solved a problem, Abi? What can you mention one problem that you have solved with your office? I need the mic for Mr. Rex. So that you will understand the importance of having a representative in your class. Please be fast. What problem have you solved?
I help them in terms of sewing. Like I assist them in mostly.
Even when the facilitators are like, say, please, let's give him a round of applause. So can we choose, a governor that can represent the facilitators and also represent the students in a class, so that when the facilitators are not forthcoming or the students are dragging or having challenges, they can call you. Why are you not in school? What challenges are you having? So that we can tell the facilitator, where are you dragging, so that we can help you. Can we even have it as a group project to study? You need a governor that can represent you. Can we have an election day to vote our governor? Should we do that? Should we have it as an event? So do you have a better way to suggest, so that, because we need a representative for your class? We cannot appoint for you. You have to choose your leader. So you choose the class yourself. So when is the date? There has to be a day for that. Yes, please.
You can vote via Telegram.
We can vote via Telegram. Yes, so we can vote via Telegram. So we need you to nominate. We need you to nominate for each class. How many names should we nominate? 5 names. Yes, so 5 names, and then, we'll have the voting, and the governor or the deputy would now also give a speech and take a responsibility and tell us how they will be solving your problems, right? So that if your class is overwhelmed or your class is choked or your facilitator is becoming overwhelmed, your governor can identify the strength of the student. Are we together? The governor can identify the students, the strength of the student that shouldn't be in the class again, and then communicate with the facilitator so that they can move you to another class. So that if you're fast, you're also not being dragged in a particular class. Do you understand all these responsibilities? So I'll have the ICT team, create a page for this nomination, and what's the deadline for this to choose a governor?
Maybe Monday.
Monday, so we'll give us 7 days. So on or before Friday, so that we can have enough students, nominate their candidate, and then we can have a representative, that can help us also manage our class better. Do you think this would help us if we have this representative? Yeah? Okay, so I'm looking forward to this. Okay. And then we're also hiring more facilitators, like we have 2 currently, yeah, and we are also looking for more. So please, if you have facilitators, good facilitators that are looking for a job, please recommend them. GMIT is currently hiring. Yes, are we together, please? Yes. GMIT is currently, in fact, we need more than 10. Yes, so please recommend. Recommend, we're open to it. Yes.
How many minutes left? Okay.
Extra time.
Okay, so let's take all the questions at once, please. Those ones are written.
Now, the following names, we have like 4 names here. Please, because the time is very short, we need to go straight to the point.
Okay.
No extra explanations, so that we can run it up again.
Just
so
1
just
minute,
have
okay.
like 1 minute for your question. So the first person here, Benedicta.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Benedicta Ozemina. Sorry, I wrote them down. Okay. I think for 6 months, I know I can't cover up everything within that 6 months. So I decided to keep on watching videos so that I can meet up and try to cover up all the stuff I need to learn. So my problem now is that video that I'm watching online. I do have problem with it. I don't actually use my phone. It's too slow. Every time I keep on logging, and at the end of the day, I get tired of watching the video. So I don't know if there's any way we can download the video on our phone so we can watch it offline. Because I always have problem with that. And second thing, according to what you said, you say you can learn everything in school. So I don't know if I'm allowed to go to the main class because I'm interested in the main world. So I don't know if I can go to the main class and sit down and join them and in the class.
Have I answered this question? I think I've answered this question. Okay, so but then the videos online, can we download them? We can download them. You can download them. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much. Because there are people that will register for 3 months. And in fact, somebody told me, if I pay for 1 month, can I download all the videos? I said, So, ICT, good job. Yes, for not making the videos downloadable. Because when you download it, you can now forward it to another school. In fact, ICT, bonus for ICT. Yes.
Hello, hi.
Yes.
Don't jump in.
Apple phone can download it. I need her to take mine. What did she say? Say it. You leave my benefit. Say it now. Say it. You said Apple phone can. Say it. Go ahead.
Screen recording.
Screen record. Don't screen record though. That's copyright. Copyright. You will show her.
Now we can deactivate
it. You can deactivate it.
It will screen record without sound.
Very good. Record The record without sound. Oh, how am I sitting? Thank you for giving us that information. The record without sound. Your phone will just, virus will just enter your phone. One house, one house, one house. Please, did you answer your question? Eh? What network are you using? MTN. Oh yeah.
Wi-Fi is very slow.
We're trying. We're trying. 800 and something thousand. We're trying. Oh. You don't know that those people, they also have brains. So I'm sure they must have reduced the bandwidth or whatever they call it. Because, yeah, so I'm sure they did it intentionally. So just say maybe like on Wednesday and Thursday, the students are not so much. When you come, you know, leave you your comfort zone after class. Do extra pattern drafting on Wednesday and Thursday. Nobody's telling you not to come to school. So try, please. Where is the CC? Did we answer your question? Don't download it. That's good network. The website is slow. If we remove do you know the number of things that we have put on the website? That's why our website is slow. If we remove those things and put only 2 things, the website will be fast. So we'll work on it though. Mr. Akin, try and work on it so that the website is fast. But do you want us to remove some things? No! Okay, so let's just work on it. So it's not like it's going to become very fast though. But you know, the speed will increase, but we are also even adding things. So try and be patient. If not, we'll remove things. Okay. Are you satisfied? Yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Mr. B, next. Mr. B, next.
So the time is up. Can they all mention the question?
Okay,
can they all
at once? Okay.
At once, so it's easier.
Oh yeah.
Juliet.
Actually have a question and
go ahead.
Observation. The observation, the toilets recently for like let me say 2 weeks now, there's no water and tissue. Yes. Seriously, even if I'm not paid of the 2 weeks, but since this week and last week, and I've asked most of the workers and they said they are not giving tissue or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Operations. Oh yeah, answer now. Answer. Where is Mr. Femi? Where is Mr. Femi?
Okay, which of the
Mr. Femi Kayode, I want you here now.
Now, all the confidence is not
Mr. Femi Kayode, I want you here to complain. You said that the management has not been releasing tissue to you. Is that true? Please confirm this.
No, not true.
Oh yeah. Please say it like you said it again.
I said that for 2 weeks now, there's not been water and tissue. And when I asked the workers, not to start telling me.
Who do you ask?
The cleaner, sorry, yes, most of them, they said they've not been giving tissue.
Mr. Femi, is that true? Oh yeah, let him answer by himself.
That's not true.
Okay, so what is not true? Mr. Femi, does the management release tissue to you as their supervisor?
Yes, always.
Always? There should be tissues in the bathroom, not releasing tissue. There should be tissues in the bathroom. So what are the challenges we are facing? Why would tissue be finishing in a bathroom that have thousands of women? Because there are thousands. I mean, only one woman can use hundreds of tissue in a day. So why would tissue be finishing in a school with this number of women? And water. What does to have infection mean? Mr. Femi, please talk, because I'm not comfortable with this.
We have water. The issue of water is we always have water for the tissue. We are yet to get tissue for Levi. We've already paid for tissue, but we are yet to get it.
So why will the tissue finish before you request for tissue?
I've requested since.
Tissue. You requested since when? Why wait for tissue to finish before you request? And then tissue finished since last week and you are sitting down.
Not last week. The tissue finished just this week.
Operations, what's going on? Why am I dealing with this issue? Don't nod your head, I need feedback.
It was put in the authorization and it's been treated.
Accountant, why is tissue? These are priorities. Why is tissue in authorization that takes 1 week? You send a budget ahead, of which you have been doing that, so which means you know the number of tissues that would last in a month. So why are you now saying that accountant or they requested it's part of authorization? What is going on?
We've already paid for the tissue box.
I will not address this issue again. Do you understand?
Okay.
Do you understand? We apologize for this. We will not address this issue again going forward. Yeah? Water. Yeah, so what is wrong with water?
No, there's water now. Water going.
Why is water finishing now? If it's not a problem, majority will not be saying it. What are the challenges you are facing? Let's hear it now.
The company, the pressure machine updates. And we've already got his quotation for that, so we are expecting the accounts.
One house, we need to hear, we are learning. Are we learning from this? Please, what did you say?
About the water.
Yes.
Now, currently, to use the pressure pump that pushes the water, usually there's water in the tank upstairs. So there's a way we work with the pressure pump. We keep monitoring it to ensure that it supplies the water.
What is the solution? Water not getting.
Okay. The solution is to change the entire controller.
Okay.
Of the pressure pump.
Have you already started the process?
We have 2 quotations already. It's going in authorization like today.
Is in the authorization
Not in the previous one. It is going today.
It's going in the authorization today. Okay, so which means this is priority that we need to address.
Yes.
Okay, HR. Thank you very much. So we'll address water and we'll address tissue. Those are basic things. What are the basic things that you need to be attended to again? AC, we'll address AC as well. What is the basic thing again? The table, yes, so table. What else? What is the basic thing again? Oh yes, that's a brilliant idea. So I was thinking that we have we speak to some food vendors so that they can come and be supplying, and we just have it as, you know, a fee. And so we'll reach out to a lot and then we'll get estimates. So they can come and give us breakfast and maybe lunch. Yes, so and then we'll just, so for those interested, they will pay a token for it. But what time do you want them to, what time do you have? Is it that they'll come by 8 to serve? Okay, so I would like us to nominate this governor. One house, because I'm beginning to shout. I would like us to nominate these governors as soon as possible, so that the governors can collate feedback on how to make this launch thing workable, so that we can also reach out to these food vendors and, you know, get different estimates so that, you know, we can implement it here. But I like it. It's a brilliant idea, and I mean, if you're ready to pay for it, why not? But because you are numbers, you know, if you're in numbers, we can get it on discounted fee. So yes, we'll take that up as well. Okay, so the questions.
I want to really know, like, truthfully, sincerely, the 2 months that we're giving after your term in GMIT.
It's not everybody that was given 2 months. When you given 2 months, no.
No, when I came, they told me that was given.
Not they told you. It should be in your, it should be on your custom and your file. Is it in your custom and your file?
It's not in my
Then
file.
it's not your set. So who has 2 months here? Extra 2 months. So if it's not, you don't take what you don't have. Yes, so just as, yeah, because things changes. So now, people that just registered, they paid 450,000. Let me just use 1 year. They paid 500,000 for 1 year. 4th of April, the tuition fee is going to 600. So the fact that you paid 500 does not mean the next person will take. Is this the same? So running expenses is different. Initially, the difference for duration. In fact, you want to freeze your account before was free. You want to freeze the account became 5,000. Now you want to freeze your account is how much? 50,000. Thank you very much. And it will go to 100,000, and we will scrap it out eventually because a lot of students are really taking advantage of it. I mean, you say you are not feeling fine and you want to go do some things, and then I've seen you posing on Instagram and we are running expenses here. It doesn't make sense. That's wickedness. So eventually we'll scrap it out. So you want to freeze your account is 50,000 going forward.
What about those that...
Oh yeah, you have been murmuring since. I want to hear you talk. Give her mic. She's my friend. The only friend I have in this school. Yeah, so we fought and we settled, so we're friends.
But I wanted to ask, like, us that registered before, we saw 2 months on the site. So are you saying that now the 2 months has been cancelled?
See, yes, so when you register, we minute it immediately in your course form and your file. If it was not minuted in your file, then the fact that because you saw it last year or you saw it early this year and you did not pay early this year, you pay now, does not mean you're entitled to it. Your payments and your benefits start counting immediately, you pay. Do you understand? Okay, so when you make payments, people that paid for the 2 months, like they confirmed, is minuted in their book. Now, as when you pay, we stopped running the promo. Don't forget that it's promo. We stopped running the promo, right? And so hence it's not minuted again in your book. So which means we're not running that same promo. So the people now, for instance, like I said, from the 4th, they are going to be paying the 600,000 for tuition fee as to you. The fact that they did not pay today, that the tuition fee is still 500,000, does not mean that because they saw it, then they will be paying 600,000 in 3 days' time. Because, I mean, we gave you enough time for you to make the payments when the promo was still running. Do you understand?
No, but I started October last year.
No, so if you started October last year, as long as it's not minuted in your book, it means, because we always act on it. Oh, let me tell you the new one. Initially, when you pay one time, you get a machine, right? Then because of feedback, we now started, you can pay within a month. And then the students made it so difficult. They'll pay after 7 days, they give me issues, they still want it. They'll pay extra 1 day, they still want it. Now, from experience, if you don't pay one time, you don't get the machine again. So that 1 month is been scrapped. So it's from experience. Where's the accountant? Do you pay instrumentally now? No. To get the machine? As of today, in fact, as of last week, started last week, 21st?
22nd.
22nd. If you pay 2 times, you no longer get a machine. So it's from the feedback because people are not disciplined to, do the right thing at the right time. Do you understand?
So if we were told,
it's not told, it's on the site.
What I'm saying is that if we were told that we have extra 2 months, and it's not on our course form, that's like,
see, it's not told. We work with a lot of documentation. It's not being told. You come to make inquiries today, and then you don't make your payment today. Because I'm giving you a practical example. If you make your payment today now, it's still 500,000. I do inquiries. You make your payment today, I tell you we're running discount. You don't make payment. And then you come on the 3rd to make payment because you have seen me. And the tuition fee has changed on the site with all the benefits. And today I'm telling you, maybe, that when you get 2 payments, when you make 2 payments, you will get it. All the information are on the site. So once it changes on the site, it also, reflects immediately on your course form and the file. So if it's minuted, you can see +2 months on the course form, +2 months in the file. So even if you don't have yours, I have mine. Right? If it's minuted, then it's accurate. If it's not, then it means you're not entitled to it. Machine, if there's no signature on it, then it means you're not entitled to it. Because a lot of people will just come and say, oh, they told me. The same way they say they told me that if I pay within a month. But your month is different. You have to work with your time. Because your month should start counting. Imagine if you pay on the 1st, and your next payment is on the 1st. another person pays on the 20th, and the next payment is on the 20th, and then you're saying they told you within a month. No, but there is record that they wrote it, that your month is counting within that period. Do you understand? Do you understand? Can someone explain to her? You are refusing to understand, because it's as clear as day. Do we have a lot of students here that they minute the 2 months on your course form? Please raise up your hand. Can you raise up your hand if they minute 2 months on your course form? Thank you very much. Was it communicated to you then that if you pay them, you would get the 2 months, and it was given to you? Thank you very much. Now there are some students that the 2 months has expired. We stopped giving it. It was even from late last year. We stopped giving it. Now, was it minuted on your course form? No, right? 2 months was not minuted on some students' course form. Can you raise up your hand, please? Was it minuted in everybody's course form? No. Yes, if it's not minuted in your course form, can you raise up your hand? So which means it is not just to you. So which means it's not like I don't like you as a person. That is why I am not giving you 2 months. I hope you understand that better. Yes? So it depends on the structure and the promo that the school is giving. Yes. Is that the last question? Yes. Okay, yes. Don't forget your question again, because you keep raising your hand and you keep forgetting.
The same question about the machine. So I paid during the time they are having the promo, but the accountant did not tell me.
Oh my God, please. I don't want this accountant did not tell you again. Even during induction, I said it. It's on the site. It's the policies there for you to read.
I'm not the one that paid.
But yeah, for the policies there for you to read.
Told me the rules.
See,
that
every organization has structure and policies. Nigeria, as bad as Nigeria is, they have structure and policies. As bad and as good as Nigeria is. Your church, your Bible has do's and don'ts. You commit sin, you know you're going to hellfire. Quran has do's and don'ts, for God's sake. You cannot be saying you want to be an entrepreneur and then you are not understanding what policy is. What if somebody told you? Is your word against the person? If you say accountant told you and accountant side did not tell you, I will believe my staff before you. I hope you know that.
She's not there.
So forget about them. Who now told you? Is it your fellow students?
No, in the course form, it stated that when you pay one time, then you're entitled to a machine. But I don't know, I think you're chatting with my husband, and he said I didn't even know I'm entitled to a machine. He said they told me to come and collect my machine. And I went upstairs. I was inducted. And I went upstairs, they told me that I'm not entitled to a machine because I did not write a message.
Yes, because every student that they give the machine have to write. Now, do you also read that the student... Wait. Now, you have been a student for some time now. Have you read the policy at all?
We read it in the induction day.
After the induction day, have you gone to read it again?
No.
You want to kneel down, raise up your hand, and close your eyes. Do you want me to do that to you now? Because you can't be hiding behind ignorance. It's not done. It's not done. Even before your husband made the payment, you ought to have read. I'm a student now, like yourself, right? And when I was filling their form, they had a lot of policies that they said we should read. One of the assignments that we're doing, TBD, talk with the mic. One of the assignments that we're doing, what are the conditions they gave? Listen, one house, please, because we're rounding up. What are the policies? We're doing assignments, we already have a template. So what are the policies that they have? Where is Mr. Nonso? I need Mr. Nonso here.
Head copy. you can copy and paste without referencing properly.
Mr. I need you to come and explain because I took you through this. Imagine, I'm a student, I paid school fees, millions, school fees, and they are threatening me in every...
The number of words? Yeah, the number of...
Not just the number of words, you have to submit your projects through a mail. What's the mail?
Yeah, I can't really remember the mail right now.
Are you listening?
You have to submit your project through this plagiarism mail. They actually check it and make sure it's authentic, and they give you the exact number of words to write. It can't be below and it can't be...
It cannot be more. And then if you copy or if you share their document, so they're giving you samples, yes. If you share the document,
if you share the document outside it is actually I don't know what to call it, but it's a serious issue.
It's a serious issue and they can take it up. They can sue you for it. Do you understand? You don't understand? Yes, because you are not listening. So are you ready to listen now? Yes. Okay. So let me start again. I'm a student, back to being a student, right? Of Business School Netherlands. Do you know the school? Right? Now, they've given us a lot of assignments. I mean, there are some assignments that has 16,000 words, 14,000 words. The one was supposed to submit now is 9,000 words, and we're submitting it on Friday, right? Now, they gave us some templates from the previous students because they are talking about organizational problems. So it's called action learning. So how to solve organizational immediate problems, right? Now, you have to do a project as regards to your organization, and they're giving you a template from previous students to give you as a guide so that you know how to go about it. Now, when we're reading those projects, there are a lot of things that are relatable that we can just copy and paste to submit assignments. So because they understand that it's easy for students to do this, they put a lot of guidelines and policies in place. So before you even submit your project, you must submit it through a particular mail that have plagiarism, right? So it will identify it and they will cancel your project. You have 16,000 words. One word over 16,000, they cancel your entire project. One word below the 16,000, they cancel your entire project. And then if you share, like you were saying something about downloading the videos, and we know that you can share it, like this even our textbook you're downloading to share it, it's copyrighted. So if you share it, they will take it up with you. Like it's there. So before they even give you the slides, there are a lot of documents that we signed, that I signed. And I further communicated it to the team. Because I don't have a choice, we have to read it. So we built a group that we're working on. But I have instructed them that look at the documents that I signed. So you're not allowed to forward this because they can take it up with me. Every organization has policies. I cannot say because of my ignorance that I did not read, because in fact if you see their portfolio, before you join, you see the policies. So I can't say because I did not read it, someone told me, the project manager, Morenike did not tell me that if I copy assignment, I don't understand.
I don't even know the process on how to take my mistake.
Everything is on the site. We send a lot of memos, we communicate with the students. We also communicated during induction. I mean, you were there. I answered a lot of questions like this during induction.
Yeah, but the questions you were answering is for people who
did you ask once? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Now we have removed even the double payment because it's becoming this issue. I mean, you're paying 1 day extra, and then you're saying nobody told you because they just said within a month. But you're paying 7 days extra, you're saying no one told you because it's within a month.
You wrote to him that she should come and collect her machine. That's why you get to know that I'm entitled to machine.
If he communicated, she paid her once or whatever, then she's done with her payment, I will say, okay, yes, she should come and collect the machine, but I'm not the one in charge of that. You will go through the right process. They will bring out your file. Somebody asked a question, and what did I say? I said, I can't answer the question. They have to bring out your file. They have to check if you're entitled to it. You can't say because you chatted me up and say, when I chatted you up, you said I was going to pay 500, so I'm entitled to 500. No. When you come to school, they will check if, as at the time you came, if it was 500 that was there, or it was 200 that was there, or you're entitled to what, you have to work with files. That's why I have the number of staff that I have. So it's not about what I said, it's about how did you communicate it. And then go to school. I didn't say come to my office to come and carry your machine. I said go to school, and then you will meet the right team, and they will attend to you.
I did.
And so for them, so they've attended to you, Abby?
Yeah, they said the next induction day I'm to collect the machine.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
Is it the signature? I've been coming since last week.
If they said that you will get the machine, the next induction, it's in your policy, because I am just talking generally, I don't know your file, because you will say I said. Now it's in your policy that machines are given only during induction days. So when it's the next induction, you will get your machine if you're entitled to it. I mean, it's one way, it's not a big deal. No, it's not, so that you will not say, I say you will collect it induction day. They'll work with your file. If you're entitled to it, when we're giving the rest people that are entitled to the machine during induction, you would get it. I mean, there's nobody that's been entitled to a machine that was not given. You know, so I mean, we'll give it to you if you're entitled to it. Because now we have to be specific with you.
Also, in our course form, the physics.
The one that you have not been reading.
Ma, I just read it.
Okay, just read it down.
After I saw that when we are freezing our accounts, you're supposed to pay 50K.
Oh yes. Oh, you didn't read it before.
I read it. No, I
go ahead.
So I just, in our course form, it's not stated that we are paying 50K, and they just send us in the group a message. Yes.
Listen, so I am not in charge of what is going on in Nigeria, in the world. So you will not tell me that I'm sure you have a diesel supplier in your house, and we just renewed our contract with our diesel supplier. As at 2 months back, we were paying 300 or something for diesel, and now we're paying 700 or something for diesel. So the fact that we signed a contract does not mean that the contract will not be reviewed. This is circumstances that are beyond our control. That's why every contract have a clause and all of that. So if you read in that same cost form, you will see that when it becomes beyond our control, then of course we have to also adjust. The same thing that happened in the pandemic. During the pandemic, it was nobody's fault. We had to move everybody online, or you stop learning. But refund was not an option because it was nobody's fault. So
this is a suggestion. If 3 months is too much and we pay for the 50K, we can do like 2 weeks because some of us need to visit.
And so just divide the 50K and do the. No. It's static. It's static. See, we're dealing with people and you see how difficult it is to even communicate with you, right? Whether it's 1 day, you want to freeze your account, it's 50K. Whether it's 5 days, it's 50K. Whether it's 1 month, it's 50K. Please, because a lot of students are taking advantage of it. I just told you that students will freeze their accounts and I see them dancing on Instagram. We're paying salaries, we're burning diesel, and then you pay. No school does. How many schools does freezing of accounts? How many schools does freezing of accounts? So now, the way I wanted it was to scrap it totally. Trust me, it was the management team that said, let's still leave it, and because of expenses, let's just put a fee. Because there are some people that really needs it, they shouldn't be punished. So since they understand the worth of, imagine, what is 50,000 naira? 3 months. 3 months is 350,000, and I'm saying freeze your account for 3 months, and I'm still going to pay salary when you're away, and you're saying it's too small. I want to scrap it.
The freezing of the account, is it that you come and start where you stopped?
Of course now.
I don't want to stop where I stop. I can just continue if I travel and then continue.
It's your choice now. That's why it's called at your own pace now.
Thank you.
It's at your own pace, so you don't have to freeze your account. You don't have to freeze your account. You don't want to continue from where you stop. You don't have to freeze your account. Right? No question is not a question. All questions are acceptable, please. And let's all learn, because she just said we need to organize a class for people to learn. Let's also accommodate them. So you don't have to freeze your account. But if you want the company to freeze your account such that the company is still running expenses while you're doing your own business, then you have to pay this amount. And I'm telling you now as a business person, considering the current expenses, that this will even increase to 100,000 until we scrap it. Because it's not favoring the school. The school is running at a loss. Yes, please. I need mic for her. But ask your question before she gets the mic, because you've not talked.
Sorry, ma. My question. I see a lot of new faces.
I need a mic. Why not a mic? Give it.
Mr. B, give me mic.
I told you I don't want to shout. Why are you sitting down?
Sorry, my question. Now, I see a lot of new faces, so I'm confused as to whether they're instructors, they're students. So how do we get to know when we have new instructors? I mean, this would be a medium of us getting to know.
That's why we have it in the newsletter. If you look at the newsletter,
if we could also capture the face, so that we can match.
We updated it on the site. You check the site.
Which site?
So the new staff, when we have a new team, we update their pictures on the site so that you would know them.
So is it the website or our?
No, the students, the academy website.
I think it's better for not everybody goes to the website.
No, so it's not every time that we have a new staff. One house now. It's so difficult. It's not every time that we have a staff that would upload it to the students. Don't forget, a lot of staff are on probation. So we cannot rub them on your face, and before you know it, they leave.
For instance, I didn't even know I know that the other account manager is. I could not a name or a face in the new account and also today.
Yeah, so we that's what I'm saying. So we try to upload it on the site because that we can take down, right? Then the next phase is to have it in the course form. Like when you check your course forms, you will see them. So these are like processes, but because these are new staff, when we have a new staff, we will not just introduce it because we are still also trying to see if they are really part of the team. Thank you very much. And to see if they will even do the work. Yes, please.
Those of us that have issues with our ID cards.
Sorry, so for people that are tired that want to go, you're free to go. Yes, go ahead.
Those of us that have issues by 1 month deduction from our ID card and our file.
Yeah, so the company is currently working on it.
Okay.
Your ID cards will be given back to you. In fact, we have more time given to students. So the company is one house. You people are making me shout. Listen. Or down, park, listen. So we have a lot of issues. There are some students that have extra 6 months, 4 months, 2 months, 3 months, and then just few less 1 month, of which these students are keeping quiet. They are not coming forth. So if you don't come, if they gave you extra months by mistake and you don't bring it forward, we'll see it as fraud. We'll see it as fraud and we'll take it off. But for now, we're still trying to collate. Now, the ones for the deduct, you will continue to use your ID card like that. Then when it's time, because you have to use your ID card to come in, we want to be strict with it now. Once it's time, for them to stop you, you then write to the management, we will give you a temporary ID card for the remaining 1 month. Then for the ones that they gave extra, we have to stop them. So we're actually collating a lot because the previous accountants made some mistakes with some numbers. Yeah? So we're working on the ID cards. Yes, so is that all the question we have for today? Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My question is very simple. I make a payment my fee on January, first week of January. So we have a little bit of understanding that day. So that was the reason why I need to see it twice. So okay, I say make payments the first day, first week of January. So So we did not understand what you were saying that day about the payments. So we wanted to make one payment. So maybe, although that there was the one that actually come to make the payment. So the first accountant, so she made me to understand some things. So I automatically paid the 200K first. So she was mentioning that if I make 2 times payments, so I'm entitled to machine. So I was like, how? Well, they said once. So I have to, my husband said, no, we can't make once. Something people. So I have to come and meet you and leave with you. Say, okay, I should make 3. Okay, I made the 3 payments. Made the 3 payments. So I want to know, because it not start on that January. So many people, they are start on February, so they make me 2 months here. So does that mean that the first payment that I did, so are we counting from that January, or is the day I start?
So your payment is from the day you make payment. Your first payment is on the 1st, your next payment is on the 1st. Regardless of when you start. Your payment on the 20th, the next payment is on the 20th. Don't forget that our receipt is POS. Our receipt is not manual, so it's programmed like that. So you cannot make payment on the 1st and then start in June and expect that your payment is not counting. So we work with your payment. So did you pay whether 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times within a month? Yes or no? Within a month?
Yeah.
It was within a month.
I paid twice within a month, remain 1 time.
You cannot remain 1 time. Did you pay 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times within a month? Yes? Then you're not entitled to it. And you see the reason why now they are scrapping this 2 times. You don't make 1 time, you don't get it because it's become too difficult.
What I'm trying to say.
Did you pay within a month?
No, it's not about the machine. The machine told me just when you before the time for what I said, if I need to pay that month, that month, I need to be entitled to the machine. So now something came up, which like we need to make 200K. That first week of January. So now I want to know if that January that I make the payment, that's the day they start to. Yes, now. Yes, because I start on February. Yes. And which is that I told you that.
You need not the machine but the class. The installment, yes, now. That's what I was saying, the same thing now. Installment, you have to stick to the dates.
Now, the thing like, before I make the 200, I already said that I'm not going to start immediately. I'm starting next month.
See, regardless of when you start, your payments must be done within 3 months. Regardless of when you start, is on the site, right? Your first payment, second payment, third payment must be done within 3 months. Now, if you want to pay 1 time, it must be done. So it now depends on the payment that you're discussing. So if you're discussing machine, if you pay 1 time, that's it. If you pay 2 times initially, you get it within 1 month. Nonetheless, when you make payment, that is when everything starts counting. That is its standard. It's when you make payment. Please, do you all understand what I have communicated? Is there anyone that's confused as to what I have communicated? Yes.
So my own issue about this installment, for example, I'm
should we scrap this installment?
No. It's so difficult.
I think we should, accountants, we need to look at this. You know, because our installment Our installments don't have interest. When you're paying in installments, you should have interest. But because we want this to be seamless, we just say, okay, pay first 50%, 50%, 50%, 25%, 25%. But if this is also going to be a problem, then we should scrap it. And with you, please. Okay, so I was told this is the last question I'm taking by the way. To start, and then what you will now sign, the date you will write in your custom is that date that you want to sign. So they will not add you in any group. You will not, be receiving any lectures. Then when you now come on that date, that is when, you will now start. So even your ID card, because you communicated it, as they're giving you your ID card, it's carrying that date. So whether you come or you don't come or, that date that you signed, that we have the document, that is when you start counting. Yes? Yes? Yes, please.
Where's the microphone?
The vaccine. Say it fast.
No, I don't know if it's still compulsory.
Yes, it's compulsory.
I don't think no one should be forced to take the vaccine.
I'm not forcing you to take the vaccine. I'm saying you must wear your face mask. So if you don't wear your face mask, like you brought it down now, going forward from on the 4th, I'll suspend you. It's not a must. I'm not forcing you to take the vaccine.
No, it's not supposed to be difficult. Like, let's say you are in the room alone, you can remove your mask.
No, please don't remove your mask as long as you're in the building, because they said, this is it's a closed place. So if you remove your mask and you sneeze, I think the thing is in the air for some time. So you cannot even remove your mask if you say you don't want to take vaccine.
It's not airborne. It's not airborne. It's a droplet infection that it drops fast. It doesn't really travel that far.
Okay,
and
so
I want to suggest something like...
Just as you're saying it's not airborne, some people think it's airborne. Wait now, you know that it's not airborne. Some people think it's airborne. So everybody has their views, right? Just to make everybody safe. If you don't want the vaccine, don't bring your face mask down at all.
About ventilation.
Ventilation, yes, go ahead.
Maybe we should be opening the windows.
No, we can't open the windows. Why are you taking us back? A lot of things will go wrong with the windows being open. Dust, spoiling the ACs. Open the door down. I mean, look at this right here, and the slide is open. So open the doors down instead of the window. The air coming from even outside is worse than... No, please. You're not spending so much time in school to be seeking ventilation. Just 3 hours. Eh? And then you can even do 1 hour or do the general class in the morning and then go home and continue from home. You don't really have to stay in school. Please, no ventilation, please. The ventilation is costing us so much money. That's why when the AC overpower outside, you see it starts spoiling. It's costing us more money. So open the door down instead. I would rather we try and buy more AC than you are opening the window. Like the reception, for instance, need AC. If the reception has another 3 horsepower AC, I think it will also complement this place. So we have a lot of expenses, but we're taking it one at a time. I mean, like most of the things we have requested today, I have deadline in April now to provide them. This will cost millions as well. I mean, it's something we have to do.
Just because of the air that is coming in.
The air that's coming in is bad. There's canal here, so we don't want this air. Yeah? Please, was today impactful? Did we get some hope that our problems will be solved going forward, the challenges, yeah? Okay, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the next quarter. Thank you.